Hi. Oh, I'm so glad all of you could join us here today. We are playing Mouse Guard, Mystery at the Gourd Theater. My name is Jay, and I'm going to be your game master for this lovely game. And let's go ahead and go around and introduce ourselves and our lovely little mice. Um, Janaya, who are you playing today, and who are you?
Hello, my name is Janaya, and I use she, her pronouns. And I am playing Dandelion, who goes by Danny for short. And she is kind of a story loving mouse from Crickbrook. She's a gray mouse with a lavender cloak, and she is a member of the guard, but not as high as she should be for her age because she gets distracted by reading, and she carries a bow and a sailor's tankard as her main forms of self defense.
That mental self defense. um, V's, who are you playing today?
Hey there, I'm V's I am playing Alfalfa, Al for short. He is a guard mouse. I think he's
Patrol guard, I
patrol
believe.
guard. Thank you. In case you can tell, I haven't played this game before, so this will be interesting. He's an eager little guy. Looking, just kind of just doing what he can to look out for his fellow mice.
Oh, lovely. And Sarah, who are you playing today?
Hi, I'm Sarah. I also use she, her pronouns. And today I will be playing Buttercup. Buttercup is a sweet little tenderpaw who has a habit of getting into trouble, never because she means to, but just because it happens. So she's under Alfalfa's watchful instruction. He's my guard mouse mentor. And this is also my first time playing. So fingers crossed, be patient with me.
No. And of course, we have all flower names, so I have put the Flower Force as the name of the group in my notes. Well, let's go ahead and begin at the beginning. All of you are in Vitrol City. This is the capital of my own Mouse Guard setting, and you are in a meeting with Gwennifer, who is the leader of the Mouse Guard. The Mouse Guard are not like a government. It's more kind of like a UN kind of situation where all the cities have their own guard and their own government. And the Mouse Guard kind of keep things together, keep them from fighting each other, and making sure that the paths between the cities are safe. They are also responsible for, very important, mail delivery. All of you are together. It is early in autumn. The leaves are a beautiful canopy of orange and red, and Gwennifer has sat you down and let you know that, well, I believe that I need some mice in Pinesweave. I've gotten a number of letters from Mayor Douglas requesting some additional help this time of year setting up the festival. Usually he sends me things by the week, which is a bit much, but I think that all of you could actually really do with some experience working in the less so in the field and more in the city. Have any of you been to Pinesweave before?
No, I think this will be my first time.
Ah, well, it's especially beautiful this time of year. Um, Al, I actually have a few things. You can meet up with Nice towards the quartermaster, and he might be able to give you some supplies to bring with if you don't mind doing that quickly.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Al's going to go ahead and speak with some caravan leaders before making their way. It's just Danny and Buttercup in the room now, and Gwennifer going to make sure that he's gone. Just, oh, I'm glad. I think that Al's been a little stressed lately. I think that he could actually do with a bit of rest. I really want the two of you to make sure that he enjoys some of the Pinesweep Festival, as is true for both of you. Could you promise me to make sure he gets some rest?
I can try.
I mean, we'll do our best, of course.
That's all I can ask for. Thank you very much. I'm afraid I have some more work to tend to, but please make your way towards Pinesweave as soon as you can. Thank you.
Of course, Gwynfer.
Okay, so you guys have been given goals. If you want to, you can have them explicit and close to what it is that Gwynfer actually asked you to do or not. Goals, instinct, and beliefs are important for this, so as I am waxing rhapsodic about your journey, feel free to fill those in. I'm also going to need a weather watching roll from someone. After all, fall is a bit finicky. There are many things that can happen, so I need to make sure that you guys watch the skies before you make your way towards the city.
Okay.
I think someone has a 3 in weather watching, I feel. I know Al has a 2.
Yeah.
I have a 2.
Oh, maybe that's just 2. Yes, that's right. So it is up to you who wants to make the roll, Al or Danny. And after that, the other 2 are welcome to help if they want to, if you can convince me that you have a skill that would be appropriate.
I can make the roll.
Okay. Before you actually roll, Danny, Buttercup, do either of you want to help using one of your skills?
Well, of course I want to be helpful. But I don't know if I have a skill to be helpful. I mean, I can't use my weather watcher to help weather watching, right?
Sadly, no.
Okay.
Are there any bees flying in specific weather patterns? You know, they maybe circle for storms or something?
There might be, but I don't think there are too many in Ventral City, sadly. I'd say that, Al, you can use your Wise. You have Autumn Storm Wise, so you have 3 dice so far.
Okay, so that just adds a dice. Or adds a die. Okay.
Could I help with my cartographer skill by saying that I understand, I've looked and mapped the landscape, and so I will know which directions the clouds would be moving more slowly and things like that?
Yeah, that makes sense. So you're up to 4 so far.
Nice.
Now, Buttercup, this means that if you help and something bad happens, you would be included in the badness. Danny is helping, so if there is failure, that means that Danny is subject to negative consequences. So if you want to, you can be totally safe and just not worry about it.
I mean, I would want to help. I just don't know that I really have anything that would be helpful.
That's okay. You will be there in spirit.
I will be there. I'll provide emotional support.
Okay. Autumn does not have a set obstacle. The seasons all have their own number of dice that are rolled. Autumn has 5 dice because it's somewhat unpredictable, but your ob is just 2.
Okay.
So that is 4 dice.
4d6. Okay.
Yeah, let's see what happens. All right, that is a success. However, because it's a tie, if you want to, you can earn 2 checks and concede to Autumn. That's 2 whole checks. That's 2 things that you can do.
Yeah, I mean, well, I would confer with my team here. I mean, do we, Danny in particular, do you have any input?
Will I be upset if we fail? I will not. But you know, and I think that checks are something we'll definitely need later. It's just a matter of whether or not we are going to have more chances to earn checks between now and then. I mean, weather kind of becomes this overarching problem that we either, you know, so I'm fine either way. I don't know if this is the best place to earn checks because it's going to affect us for like the whole next phase. But
here's the thing. You only have 3 chances to earn checks at my turn.
Oh, that's true. So
I, as being an honest person that I am, would recommend earning checks now.
Okay, I will concede to Autumn then.
Haha, sucker. Okay. So what do you think, Alfalfa, would be towards the worst possible scenario right now?
Towards the worst possible scenario?
Yeah, just for fun.
No, like misreading when it's gonna start raining or something.
Yeah.
I have no idea what. I mean, I can't. I'm
So
not a mouse.
mice are small, and raindrops are very large to mice. But beyond that, there's also quite a bitter cold wind that's brushing through the trees. What's especially bad is that you can't quite hear your footsteps as loudly or the footsteps of anything around you because, after all, the trees are moving so much and are so dry, you can't see as much with quite a few leaves blowing around in the wind. I think that there is something about you. You can hear not just movement of the trees, but something in the trees, even. You see that there are movements of gray between the leaves. And I think that, Alfalfa, I would like for you to please check angry for me as a condition.
Okay.
And Danny, I think that you are probably lost in one of your stories as Al is leading the way. And
Shocking.
Buttercup, you turn around and Danny's gone.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Al? Al?
Yeah. What is it?
I think... Have you seen Danny recently? Because I don't know where she went.
What? And Al turns around to and looks around to see if he can see any trace of Danny.
Danny, you are in one of the trees, and you are in the paws of a very large gray squirrel.
Oh no.
Oh, hi. Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello, Mr. Squirrel?
Like, shakes you a little, holds you up to his ear. Hi.
Could you put me down, Mr. Squirrel?
Drop. Off of the branch.
Oh no.
Oh.
He's like falling next to you. Hi.
I think I scramble and try to like find some sort of pitch I can grab with my claws.
You can grab onto him if you want to.
Okay. I grab onto the squirrel.
Like glides down and then swoops over Al and Buttercup.
Wow.
Buttercup, you've not had the chance to roll or help quite yet. You see this, and I would like for you to roll Pathfinder to try to follow the squirrel. The squirrel's not trying to hide or like really go real far away. It doesn't mind if you follow. So this isn't a conflict.
Okay.
I'm going to say that this is an ob 3. And I think that both Al and Danny can help if they want to. Danny, how do you think you might help?
Could I use my orator skill to start very loudly? I think Danny just starts to be like, oh my gosh, Buttercup, can you hear me? This is just like that one time in that story when there was that mouse and there was the bird and then the mouse got on the bird, but instead of a bird, it's a squirrel. Oh
I'm
my
not a
God.
bird. Bird.
It's bird.
That makes total sense to me. So that's 1 extra die. So that's 5 so far. Al?
I would say hunter for like kind of like tracking or
That
like
makes total
tracking where
sense
it's
to
gonna
me.
go.
Okay, so that's 6 dice. Ob 3.
All right. So that's...
Oh, and you can also, if you wish to, use one of your traits as a benefit to give yourself an extra die or as a negative to earn another check. I could see how lost would be a negative. I also see
Yeah.
how brave and compassionate would be helpful. As compassionate's level 2, you can actually use that 2 times before the player phase. Your choice.
Hmm.
Or before the end of session, excuse me.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Do you want that extra die? Do you want to leave it at 6? Do you want a negative?
And I need 3 successes, huh? That's what I'm interpreting that correctly?
Yes.
We've already got 2 checks. So I think I'm gonna leave it right now unless other folks think I should be doing differently.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, sounds good to me.
All right.
It's only your friend's life.
This could be a short game for Dandelion.
She's more capable than I am.
All right, go ahead and roll
Actually, no,
66.
you're right. Compassionate would probably bump it up.
Fine. All right, roll 7 dice.
She's the big softie. All right. Oh lordy. Oh wait, no, I did D6s. Sorry.
Oh, you did D4. Nope, still counts. Sorry.
I mixed up my
It's
rolls.
okay.
Sorry, I'm learning.
You're fine. Go ahead and try rolling again.
Good God.
Oh no. Well, I count 3 successes total. Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah, 3 successes. Do you want to spend a fate point to try to roll again? You can always earn more.
Are squirrels hostile in this, or are they just mayhem?
Oh, what a great question. Squirrels, I believe the 3 of you would know, especially flying squirrels, steal baby mice. And just
Oh no, don't take my friend.
they also seem to have a lot of knowledge of the woods. They're very dumb, but they know a lot. And they often just blurt that information out into the ether. That's the main thing you know about squirrels. They're dangerous. They're very dumb. Hi.
All right. Yes, I will spend a fate point, and that lets me reroll the 6.
But if you spend a
Oh, yeah.
fate point, then you only get to re-roll the 1 6,
Oh,
and you
that's
still
true.
need 3 successes. So you'd have to roll and get a 6
And
to
then
be able to
another-
roll again.
That is true. Probably not for the best. You could
Probably.
spend persona and roll your nature's 4, so you could roll 4 extra dice.
That might be the move.
Okay.
Because I
I think that's a good idea.
don't want to lose Danny this early, so I will spend my
This early.
persona
Okay.
and roll another 4.
Yeah.
No D6s this time.
Mhm.
Good God!
No.
Okay.
Thank you, Roll20. Never change.
Okay.
Well, meet my friend the squirrel. I live with him now.
So this thing kind of like leads you, like it stays towards the ground, just like leads you just a little bit. And it's not that far from like the track you were going to go anyway. Buttercup, I need you to check hungry and thirsty for me.
That is very fair.
Or,
I'm
excuse me,
so out of
tired.
breath.
I misspoke.
I am so out of breath.
Yes.
This girl's so fast.
Danny, this thing has just been like pointing out to things and like telling, that's a tree. It's red. It's an orange tree.
That's orange. That's not red.
Red.
Orange.
Like,
Orange.
it just yanks you and like glides over to the next rock. Just like pointing out things. You can actually see in the distance between a lot of trees, it points very far and it says, burnt to black, ash, demons. Oh no, that's a rock. Ah. And then it's going to like pull you again, and it's going to say, "Oh, you have to fight. Ah, you're going to die here."
Danny's eyes get real big. I don't like this story at all. You're
Oh.
a very bad storyteller, Mr. Squirrel.
It's a rock. And then it's just going to set you down upside down, not too far from the city. It is going to climb up the tree, kind of like wave at everyone down, all of you. And you see that Danny is just filthy, absolutely filthy, like stinks, leaves like all tangled into her fur, and like your cloak has like a huge knot in it somehow. But you guys have made it to town. It's actually past dark, a lot later than you expected to make it here. And you can see that inside the town, inside Pinesweave, there's a large banner that says Pinesweave Autumn Festival that two mice on a ladder are taking down. There are a few shops that are set up with some little lightning bugs in jars or fine-smelling candles. But there's not a lot of hustle and bustle in town. Towards the right, going into the city, you actually see that there's a small caravan that has a very large, like Hercules beetle pulling it. And I think that all of you are a little disoriented, but you hear someone call out, "Danny! Danny!" It's a big wave, like beckoning you to come closer. And you see that it's your dads. Came here for the festival, Cypress and Desmond. "Oh, sweetie, we didn't know you were going to be here. Are you on guard business?"
A little bit, yes. Are you
Wow.
Are you bringing new brews for the festival?
No, we took it off. We're actually just putting our feet up for a little bit before wintertime. After all, we gotta save some of the good stuff for
Of course.
Yeah.
Buttercup, Alfalfa, this is my dad, Cypress and Desmond.
Yeah, actually, a friend of yours was leading the caravan. Oh, it's so nice to meet you. Her name was Geraldine, I believe. She was telling us all kinds of stories about you when you were little and still like in the garden. Like you guys had to say, "Oh, so cute. Why didn't you tell us about her?" And you see Geraldine is like giving your parents their bags and just has the shit-eating grin on her face.
Sure. I think that Danny just like normally she's got like big kind of eyes and her eyes just sort of narrow, but she smiles like the fakest smile with this glare and says, "Hello, Geraldine."
Alfalfa just kind of snickers a little bit.
And you actually, Al, you hear your name as well. Towards the in the center of like the mercantile line, there's a very large mouse that is like waving you over, and you see that it's your senior artisan, Biscuit. In line, Buttercup, you recognize it's your friend Pat. Who just got this massive, like this big in proportions of biscuit that's just smeared with pumpkin butter, just mostly on his face, like not eating it very well.
Pat, what here?
Takes out a big handkerchief, dabs.
Goodness, everywhere.
But you see, run behind Biscuit before you even have the chance to say anything, is a mouse that's wearing a black cloak and a black mask of a cat. And you see that they have a small gourd in their hands. They're knocking over like quite a bit of what Biscuit was working on. They turn, see you, and dart down the alley. And you hear off in the direction they ran from, "Thief!"
Hey, stop! Thief!
Alfalfa, I believe that means you are a conflict captain.
Okay, I don't know what that means yet.
This is a
Explain it
chase.
to us.
Don't worry about it. It's probably fine. First thing first, I need you to roll Scout and then add your health or your nature, whatever's higher. I think your nature will be higher. Yes. So go ahead and roll Scout for me.
So it'll be the 3d6 and
Mhm.
then add the.
Yeah, you'll add that as a flat number. So just roll the 3d6.
Okay.
Okay, that's 2 plus 5. That is almost 7. I'm going to put your disposition at 7. I'm going to roll for this person. Beep. And their disposition is 8. Oh, that's slightly higher than 7.
Oh, is that how math works?
I'm not certain.
I don't like this math.
Right for new math. Jay always wins.
Keep rolling this way, I guess.
Right?
So right now, I'm going to flatly tell you the goal that this thing or person has, and you guys will also make up a goal for this conflict. For example, it makes sense. You would just say, stop the thief. You could also say, oh, I don't know, get the gourd back, or unmask the criminal, or what have you. And those are all different things. And as disposition goes down, depending on who reaches 0 first and how far you go down, that will decide how successful you are at your goal. For example, if we say this person's goal is just to get away, and your goal is to like find out who this person is, they would get and you both reach 0 at the same time, they would get away, but you would find out who they are, that kind of thing. I'm also going to say that, as like the way I play this, house rules is you only get one and. So you can't say, I want to do this and this and this and this and this. That's just too much. This person, I will tell you, wants to make a scene and get back to their home base.
I feel like as like guard, we should definitely stop the thief as part of our, catch him or stop him.
I would put down. I'm think I'm gonna put down apprehend the thief.
Nice.
Gotta
Good
make it
guard
sound official.
terminology.
Okay, gotta get into the role.
Our patrol guard.
I think that Buttercup wants to bring the gourd back to the people it was stolen from.
So there's one big goal just for the conflict. There's the ones that you guys have on your character sheets. For this conflict, the group will just have one goal. So you want to apprehend the thief and return the gourd.
Cool. Okay.
Return gourd. I'm actually going to say it's one of those like this big pumpkins that the person has like this, like over their head. It's be enormous for them.
Like Child Link carrying a pot.
Yes.
Big pumpkin overhead, little mousy legs just going.
Okay. This person is I'm going to set up their actions, and so that I don't know what you guys are about to do. Is this on the right layer? Thank you, brain. This, which is very interesting. And then this, which is also interesting and fun and good. Okay. I have set up this person's 3 actions. Now it is up to you to decide. As this is a chase, the things you'll be using are Scout and Pathfinder. Scout is for attack and maneuver, trying to like cut ahead, find them, and find shortcuts. And Pathfinder is direct line defending and also feinting. on the conflict interactions table, you can see what all this means. The main point is some things are either against each other, like it's attack versus defend. The greater number wins. But if you both attack, you just go straight for the hit points and you don't interact at all. They're independent.
And then the stars.
The stars are cases where, so if this person is defending and playing it safe, and you guys do a feint, the defend does nothing. They are caught with their like a deer in the headlights, and you can just cut right through them in feint. So feint versus defend, you just cut straight through. However, if you're feinting against anything else, it basically doesn't do anything.
Okay.
It's dangerous.
Cool.
High risk, high reward. And if you don't want to worry so much about like attack, defend, feint, you just tell me what you want to do and we can work it into the mechanics. This is story and mechanics.
Last question, because I'm tired. That gives me a -1 to disposition, but I'm not the conflict captain, so that doesn't.
Ooh, it does matter, but I forgot it, so we're gonna not worry about it.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh, I think Alfalfa is angry as well,
Yes.
so that would have affected things.
That is -1 to disposition for any conflict that uses will as its base, which I'm not sure what that means exactly.
This does not. This uses health, so you are fine.
Okay.
Health or nature, whatever.
I mean, maneuver seems like an obvious choice for this one.
Which one?
Pardon?
Maneuver.
That would be a good start. You can use maneuver to set up so that the thing after it is more powerful. So if you do very good at maneuver, you get extra dice.
My strongest skill is Pathfinder out of those two. I don't think I have anything in Scout. So I just know that I'm either going to defend or feint.
I'm a little Scout. Character sheet's gone blue. Hang on. I think I have 2 in Scout. I have 2 in Scout.
I have 3 in Scout.
Excellent. So
we could do.
I think Buttercup has the highest pathfinding.
I do have pretty high pathfinding. But I also have a decent persuade. So I wonder if we run after the thief and try and like convince them to stand down.
I think I view the conflict actions as a guideline as well. If you want to justify something else, then that is totally fine by me. You could just say like, oh, we go by a brewer stand. I'm going to use brewer and like shake it up and shoot the cork out of the big barrel straight at his kneecaps.
Oh my goodness.
That's totally fine with me. This is just a guide.
Now I kind of wish I had brewer.
All right. So we start by running after them, which is maneuver.
Or attack, honestly. Like it's not as much 1-to-1. Because there's story and then there's the mechanics. You could just use Scout to just run straight after them. You have to see where they went. They duck down an alley. So attack would also make sense. If you want to start with maneuver, go ahead. The order of the cards is up to you. You guys can set that up first and then decide how you're going to roll things as well.
Okay. I mean, I think Al would probably give chase, like right off the bat.
I think Danny is going to defend in the chase with Pathfinder, which is basically just going to be her being able to tell by the turn of the street, being able to kind of pick where we're going to go to head them off better.
Makes sense to me. To me, that sounds like attack and then defend.
Buttercup, I think, would be like, no, wait, stop. No, it's okay. We just want you to give it back. Like trying to talk them into standing down.
Okay. That would be Persuader. Which of the actions do you think that would be?
I have no idea.
I would think that Feint or Maneuver make the most sense in my mind. But if you were using like Manipulator to like, you're going to jail to attack, that would be a different. I think that's what that would be. But if you're doing Persuade, I would feel Feint or Maneuver.
I feel like Maneuver, because it's like, like how do I handle this conversation in such a way that you like trust me and
yeah. I think that so Maneuver gives a benefit to the next thing that's rolled. You guys can change the order of this if you want, because I think if Maneuver's last, it just doesn't carry over.
Okay.
So who wants the potential benefit of Maneuver? Defend lets you raise your disposition, but the only way to decrease their disposition is through attacking and feinting.
Oh, okay.
So what's the order you guys want to do?
I mean, my opinion, Maneuver, Defend, Attack makes sense because he would hear Buttercup yelling at him before either of the other two things would happen.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. All right. Let's do this then. This person is going to begin with Defend. Buttercup, go ahead and roll. This person rolls this many. And Maneuver, Defend are versus, so whoever gets the higher one wins.
Okay, so I've got my Persuader skill, and could I make a case for also using... Oh, wait, no.
You can use one of your traits.
Okay. Did I use Compassionate to give me a bonus on the disastrous attempts to try and catch a...
Yes,
Good.
but you can use that one twice because it's level 2.
Right.
So that's fine.
I'm trying to decide if I want to use it now. Probably not. I'm working. I trust my team. If this doesn't work, then they'll probably sort it out.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and let's roll.
That's just the straight 3 from the skill. Correct?
Yes.
Right.
This person got 1 success.
Hey, there's some numbers.
Nice.
Okay, so this means that Danny, when you're doing Defend, you roll 1 extra die for free.
Okay. Cool.
So let's go ahead and do that.
So that's my Pathfinder. So I have 3 plus the 1 die.
So I envision this as this person tries to cut through a few other alleys and like go through the next line of stands and trying to hide from you guys. There's actually another like vendor that has some other little pumpkins that they try to like sneak between to distract you. But no, immediately Buttercup's like, no, wait. And they hesitate and kind of like stutter for a moment. Now let's go ahead and roll. You're doing pathfinding for Defend?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's 3. And then
do you want to use any of your traits?
Trying to think. I have Curious and Generous. I could use Curious in my favor because I can either use Curious in my favor because I would be very excited, like very aware of everything that was going on around me, or I could use Curious against me because I could be distracted by things. But I don't want to waste.
I think it could be either.
Yeah.
And you can use things against yourself as many times as you want to.
Right.
But I think that would be, you could do either of those. It's up to you.
And if I'm successful, this raises our disposition?
Yes.
And I don't get to know how many dice I'm rolling against before I make that decision.
This person rolled 3 before. They're going to be rolling 3 again. right now.
Okay. I'll go. I want the check so bad.
Do the check.
I'm gonna
the
do the
check.
check.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just roll 3 and be hopeful. And I get no successes.
Okay.
But on the other hand, 1 die would not have helped me, most likely.
Nope.
Eep.
Oh, roll 20. Now I know how players feel.
Okay, this person got 2 successes for a maneuver, which means they can do even more than just get 1 die. Yeah. They get 2 dice for their next action. And their next action is attack. Okay. They are rolling 4 dice, which is 2 more than they would have been otherwise.
All right, so
You'll be using Scout to attack.
Scout, and then so looking at my traits, I have my traits set at level 1. Were we all? I forget if those were set in the book or if we all were setting them to level 2 for the sake of this one shot.
No, they're all level 1 unless you made something to.
That's right. That's
because you can pick it more than once and then it goes up a level.
okay. So for this, can I use my clever trait?
Yes.
And that just adds 1 extra die.
Yes.
Okay. So that will be 4 then.
All right, this is 4v4. Let's go. Oh no!
Good job,
Well, this
Alfalfa.
isn't good at all. I hate this game.
Table flip.
How's that new math now, Game Master?
No! Okay. Well, how do you using your scout to get at them?
So he kind of went out into like an area with stalls that he's trying to hide in, you said?
Yes.
Al's just kind of try to use his cleverness to just kind of, I mean, even though it's not outmaneuver him and just kind of get around and just try to, like tackle him or otherwise stop him.
Okay. Yeah, I think that you get like a hand on this person and it just spooks them and they throw the pumpkin and run off. But now is new times. We're going to do a new round. So, what do you guys want to do? Oh, I will say that people in the crowd are starting to like cheer and root for you guys. And you hear like a few mice even say like, oh, watch out for Black Vincent's tricks.
Black Vincent?
And the mouse in the costume kind of like turns and hisses and keeps going. I'm going to say they even like hop up onto one of the rooftops after you spook them. Okay, this person is set up. You guys go ahead and choose your cards. And your fate?
Choose your fate.
All right. I'm curious what the people know about this. Because they said to watch out for his tricks.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're being led into some kind of trick.
I mean, I think Al being angry, he would probably be laser focused in on catching this Black Vincent.
Ready to attack again?
Yeah, I think so.
Sounds good. We can choose order later.
I think that Danny, knowing that Al is going to kind of keep going for the pursuit, is going to try to distract by making a really sort of loud, not attack, but looks like attack, and feint. Or wait, is feint not one of my things? Maybe maneuver is my other thing.
Feint is Pathfinder.
Feint is Pathfinder? Yeah, so feint.
Now here's the thing. This person would have to defend to be able to do something with feint. Otherwise, it's very risky. But maybe they did defend.
Oh, so feint has to go against defense.
I think that feint versus feint is a versus test.
Right.
But feint
So maybe
versus
I
attack is you can't do anything.
So trying to figure out the game. So then defend would be the better way to go. Because it's useful against maybe, depending on what you've drawn. But it's useful against more, like statistically, it's more likely to be in play.
I mean, it's high risk, high reward, right? Because
yes.
Against a
yeah.
Yeah.
Because this person could roll 4 dice and get 4 attack and just decimate your disposition if they're attacking when you're feinting. Or maybe they're defending. They did defend last time.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, no, I think that's just, I think I'm going to go with feint.
Okay. Buttercup?
I think she's going to maneuver, and she's going to ask the folks in the crowd who recognized this person if they know where they are going.
I think that this would be a circles test.
Well, what that?
So circles are like you knowing people.
Oh, okay.
I'd say, unless you can justify another one of these skills. But that one makes the most sense to me. And circles, you only have 1 because you're a sweet little tender paw that no one knows.
I am a sweet little tender paw. But you did say that that my friend Pat was here, right?
I did.
Maybe Pat knows more folks than.
Yeah, roll 2 dice for that one if you're going to do that. When you do that. All right. So that is a maneuver. All right. How do we want to order these bad boys?
I feel like I feel like feint should go before attack. I'm just not sure. I mean, do either of you have a preference for where maneuver would be in the order?
If you want to play it safe, I would say maneuver would improve attack, unless you're confident the feint's going to go against a defend.
I think. Yeah, that makes sense, because maneuver would enhance a feint, but the feint would only be applicable in certain situations. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Yeah, all right, let's put the maneuver in front then.
Are we thinking this or feint at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good to me.
Okay. Now let's see what Black Vincent is doing. A feint. Feint versus maneuver are independent. So we're just going to roll, and Vincent is going to do damage to you, but you guys get the benefit of the maneuver. It's not against each other. You're not taking the difference.
Okay.
Okay. Feint is pathfinding, so he gets 3. Boop. 1 success. All right. And you guys can roll yours. Add the things you want to add. How you feeling?
So I roll my maneuver first, and that's 2d6 because I have a circle of 1, but I know Pat.
Yes.
All right. Roll that. Okay.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay, so this means, I think I had it wrong before. I said you get a bonus die. It's actually that the other person loses a die.
Oh.
Whatever. I'm going to say that you're like calling towards the crowd. What is it precisely you ask?
Do you know where he's going?
don't think they do. But I think that like you addressing the crowd makes them want to participate. And Vincent runs across one of the houses and like tries to jump, and someone like jumps up and swats at his feet. He actually like makes a distance away running this way, hence the feint, but it does like trip and like skirt on the rooftop for a little bit.
Oh,
And makes
done!
everybody's laughing at that. Okay.
Buttercup like delightedly applauds.
Okay, and now he's going to try to make a total break for it. He's going to try to attack again, but he has one less die.
Okay.
Okay. Al.
This would be another scout roll. All right, and 3d6.
Right, this time he only gets one. Oh no! Treachery! All right, down to 5. Not looking good for Vincent. Are you getting up on the roof to try to chase him?
Yeah, I'm pretty much just following right on his heels.
I imagine you
trying to grab him again.
You like step on Pat's back and like jump up. Ow!
Sorry.
And you hop over. You're on the same roof as he's trying to get up, and he's going to try to slide off the roof and tuck away, and that beats your feint. So he gets to roll his dice.
Vincent!
Oh no, so dramatic. Such a showman. With a flourish of his cape, he just rolls off the side, and you look down and you lose him for a minute.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Okay. We're going to start a new round. At any point in these fun little conflicts, you can make a proposition to have a concession, and both sides can just say like, okay, bro, let's talk about this. And we can make something that's fair for both parties. Maybe Vincent is starting to be interested in doing that. So do you guys want to approach the table, the hypothetical table, or do you want to keep chasing to try to hoping to get a better result?
I mean, I'd be up for trying to convince him to give up peacefully.
Yeah.
He did throw the pumpkin away.
Yeah, we dropped the pumpkin. This, I think this could be potentially an example of Buttercup using her compassionate trait against herself, because it might be better if she didn't give him.
Oh,
like,
so this is like
if she doesn't, but she's nice. She believes in the best of people. So
this is like not like mechanical roles kind of thing. This is like me saying, "Okay, you want to give up? We can talk about it." I think he already gave the gourd back,
yes,
but he's not going to let you apprehend him.
Okay.
His goal was to make a scene, which I think he did, but he wants to go home too. But you guys would have this was my third thing. So you guys could spend a check for free, no rolls, to just follow him. What do you say?
I mean, I'd agree to that.
Yeah, I
If
would
the other
too.
two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we met half of our goal and we still have the potential to get the rest of our goal. We just don't get it right now.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to clear away the cards.
Quick question for the GM. Like, how would one go about clearing like angry, for example? I'm just like because hungry and thirsty seems and tired seems kind of obvious, but I'm just wondering like what the different conditions are for clearing.
Let's see. There is a doc I did not share that I will share now. It is your turn. I hope you enjoy it. as it is temporary, like all things in life. Recovery, on that document, it'll show you explicitly what is required. So if you're angry, you have to do your own obtu will test to get over it. Certain things can happen that could like help with that. You can earn checks when it's your turn, but they don't take effect until the next player's turn. Hungry and thirsty, angry, all those conditions have pretty serious detriments to them. So if you are able to fix those, you're welcome to try. But you can only try once per player's turn. You can't keep trying to not be angry, because as we all know, that only makes you more angry. And do you guys want to spend your first check now to follow Vincent? Each of you have 3 to begin with because it's your turn, and you earned 2 other ones, so I think you have a total of 5. I believe.
I'd say, yeah.
5 each or
5 total.
5 total. Okay. That's
Did you, Danny? I don't remember. Did you spend something as a negative?
I did. I used my
6. You're
my
right.
curious against me. So
Yes, you did. Okay, so that's 2 each or 6 total, however you want to do it.
Okay.
All right. Do you guys want to spend one to just follow Vincent now? Because story.
Yeah, I vote yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. Vincent rolls off, and you just do not see where he went to. The crowd is still like cheering, and you see behind one of the dark dark tree in the wood, you see Vincent is standing dramatically with the cape flowing, and it's very windy, and you just see him kind of like cock his head and point over towards the pumpkin patch, and then ducks down and starts to dash towards that area of town. It is dark with the exception of one incredibly well-lit pumpkin that is carved. And as you follow, the Pat kind of like calms the crowd down a little bit. I don't know if he saw what happened, but Vincent's gone. Like, the crowd can't chase him anymore. But the person who cried thief does get their pumpkin back and like kisses it and like puts it under their arm, starts walking back to their stall. And people go back to what they were doing, taking down decorations and kind of cleaning up their stalls. You make it to the pumpkin patch, and you see that there are maybe 24 mice working around the Gourd Theater, carving chairs and like setting up jars of fireflies. And you see that on stage there is a dusty tan mouse who's like has like his finger in the chest of a young woman mouse. It's like, oh, what were you thinking? Stealing the costume? Don't let it happen again. He huffs off towards backstage, and a few other mice like come together and start chatting. And you see the person that he was talking to is wearing the black cloak that you saw Vincent wearing before, and she kind of like looks over and beckons you guys closer. Hi, thank you for being such a lovely supporting cast back there. My name is Pepita. I'm Vincent this year. I was thankful for that, but I don't know how much good it'll have done. I think people still seem a bit grumpy and upset about this year. But I appreciate you taking the time to help me lift people's spirits some.
Al kind of cocks his head to the side and scratches the top of his head. Wait, that was a show?
Well, a little bit. I mean, I'm gonna let some of the other actors talk. One of the stagehands steps forward. He has crutches, and his foot is wrapped in a cast. Kind of like gets up on his haunches and says, "Yeah, people, the mayor's been a bit paranoid, but ever since, the niece's house outside of town burned down last night, I think that, he decided we're not going to have the rest of the festival this year."
Oh no, you can't
Yeah.
not have the festival.
We were, the actors like look at each other. We were hoping that we could kind of get people back into the feeling of the season, but I don't know how well that worked out.
Someone's house burned down?
Yeah, don't really know why myself, but
Are they okay?
yeah, they weren't in the home. They were actually, they were preparing for the festival. No mouse got hurt. It's just too bad that it had to happen then.
That's terrible.
Yeah, Pepita speaks up and she'll say, I thought that the mayor could see that people want to have the festival, want to have fun, and not just prepare for winter. But I don't know how well that worked. Do you think you could maybe help us?
I mean, we were sent, to see what we could do to help out. So yeah, I would. Maybe we can talk to the mayor and the guard here and see if we can maybe lend our services.
Yeah. Well, I know that there's an outpost towards the east. Those guards are awful nice. But the mayor's set in what he wants to do.
Well, I don't understand why the mayor would want to cancel the festival when it sounds like everybody's spirits are so down. Like, it seems like when a tragedy happens that the community should come together around our stories and our traditions.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir, lady. That's exactly what we're thinking.
Maybe the festival could help, help out the family whose house burned down. Might make the mayor feel better.
It's a good idea.
I think that's a lovely idea. We should do a collection and help them for the show tomorrow night.
Exactly.
Oh, well, that's assuming we can still have our show tomorrow.
Well, how could the mayor say no?
He's very stubborn. The stagehand was about to say, "Oh, he's bleep 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 bleep," but one of the Pepita just covers his mouth.
Alfalfa kind of covers Buttercup's ears.
Well,
have to hear what they're saying.
If you're willing to lend a hand, then he gestures down. I could totally use a few myself, and I know that if you can talk to the mayor and let things go for another few nights, we'd be appreciative. And outside of that, I know that there's the guards of the outpost. They probably have some ideas of what you could do too, but they're probably working late tonight. I'd say talk to them in the morning tomorrow. And, all people in town could use help, I figure.
I am tired.
Oh, little sweepy tendo paw. Oh.
It has been a long day.
It has.
Some more so than others.
So I would say that is your first check spent. You got some information about town and what's going on. Pepita and the other actors would be happy to help you if you have any issues in town, but they're still preparing for the performance tomorrow night. So, what would you like to do?
Rest is probably in order.
Yeah,
it is pretty late.
We have an angry and a tired.
Yeah, Buttercup's tail is just drooping, and then she's bringing it back up.
I'd say that it's dark, but it's not super late. It's maybe 7, 8 p.m.
Okay. Maybe.
And you can do, for tired and for angry, there's a straight up roll for that you can do, and we can say that you do that and then do things out of order a little bit if you want to. It's your turn. You make up the rules. I don't. So we could just say, tired, you go to sleep, but let's say these other things you did the night after you've resolved that little tired issue. So do you guys want to spend 2 checks to resolve each of your conditions?
That's probably a good idea, no?
Sweet.
And I don't have a condition, but I am filthy, and I feel like just
yeah.
narratively speaking that Danny doesn't want to go talk to the mayor while she's still covered in dirt and squirrel spit. So maybe if part of the narrative of that check involved us getting rooms somewhere, and
Well, Cypress and Desmond took up a little B&B in town. I think that the three of you are more than welcome to make use of their bath and
awesome,
their bed. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I think that with condition recovery, you can get help with things. So let's say that Danny can help each one of you.
Great.
Let's do Al first. So go ahead and roll your will number in dice +1, so a total of 5.
5.
You need a
Okay.
2.
Yeah.
That is more than 2.
I have done the thing.
What breaks your frustrations?
I think Al has he has cook and baker. I would say he'd ask to use maybe like the kitchen at the B&B and just kind of like use that as his sort of calming moment, like kind of his zen moment.
Al stress bakes?
Yeah.
I relate to Al.
Same.
Yeah, you can make like a little peanut loaf for everybody to munch on that evening. Buttercup, go ahead and roll your health for me, +1
So
for the
it's
calming atmosphere.
so it's 6 + 1?
Yes.
Right.
Almost 7. And you need 3 successes for this. More than
I'm
3.
not tired anymore. I feel great. Should we go do stuff?
You take a power nap. You are ready to go.
Al's like, did I put caffeine in that?
No, I'm just a cheat.
I think that Danny, your dads have like saw you before and drew a bath for you already. And you just scrub down and you are immaculate.
Awesome.
By the time the other two have finished healing their conditions. And that gives you guys 3 more checks to do things.
I think we should go talk to the mayor, because I think that Buttercup has a really good idea about using the festival as a fundraiser for this family. And I think that we could also find out more information about that in the conversation.
Okay.
Agreed.
I should not.
Yeah, I would say that you guys can. It's not super late. I think and the town is still hustling and bustling. I'd say that Mayor Fur is dealing with some things in town, and you can ask some people, get some help, and track him down fairly easily. He's a very short in stature, like tiny, high angry energy kind of person, and just like very fuzzy, very, very fuzzy.
Oh my god.
I hear him having a Danny DeVito voice.
Thank you. Oh, God, mice. Great. What do you want?
Well, we were hoping to talk to you about the festival.
Yes, there's a festival.
We were told that you were thinking of canceling it with the fire and everything. We wanted to suggest that maybe we hold the festival anyway and maybe use it as a fundraiser.
That was my idea.
Yes, it was.
Oh, you were very small. You've got like a whole head on top of him. Okay. I would say that, Al, this sounds like you were trying to convince him. Do you have Persuader? Yes, you do.
Yep.
Okay. And how are Danny and Buttercup helping?
I would like to help by adding in my orator, because I would like to lean into my instinct here and say, well, it would be just like that story when the mouse were
God.
attacked and their castle was ruined, but then what they did was that they held a celebration, and that
More
celebration and the
actors.
unity of like the mouse love together caused the weasels to just turn and leave because they knew they couldn't defeat the power
Weasels,
of
he
friendship.
hides.
And my belief is that you can solve almost any problem if you're nice to people and willing to talk through it.
Prove it. You still have to use a skill or a trait or a wise to help.
And maybe I can help out with the preparations, and so that people have a little lighter load, and I can use my labor skill.
I love that idea. Okay, so that is your persuader plus 2 for the helpful mice that are with you. He's grumpy and scared about what's happening right now, but he's not like dumb. So I think that he's totally able to be convinced. This is an ob2.
Ob2. So you said 4, right?
Yes. Hey! He kind of like mulls it over. Okay. Fine. Well, we'll have a festival for tomorrow night after, but I don't know if we can do it the whole time. I have this feeling that there's some kind of bad juju happening. And I want to be able to save up for the winter. You feel me?
I can understand that.
Besides, if we have 3 brave mice here willing to help us, maybe you can, just like the little one said, put your backs into it and help us out.
Well, of course, that's what we were sent here for.
Yes.
You were sent here to work?
To see what we could do to help out around town.
Well, if you want to, maybe not be in the Guard, maybe do something else, you're welcome to be part of the Guard of Pinesweave. Instead, we'll let you put your feet up a little bit more than those in Vitriol City.
Well, I mean, we would never leave Guinevere, of course, but we're here to help while we're here.
Well, just as good. Well, if there's any trouble, then I'll assume that it was one of you, per our agreement.
Buttercup goes from being annoyed about that to being like, actually, that might be fair.
He'll go down like a few things that he suggests you visit while you're in town, a few of the like big things, and he'll specifically and repeatedly reference the stall, his favorite stall, that has the fried spider legs. Just not too far away. They're sweet, delicious spider meat. The best. Highly recommend. Get the spicy ones.
Ooh, I like
Get the spicy ones. And you guys got 2 checks left. What do you want to do?
Okay.
Does Alfalfa like spicy food?
Say he likes like medium spicy. Much more than that, he might struggle with it.
Get him the hottest ones they have.
Well, because, Buttercup was told to do something to help Alfalfa relax. And after the whole mess with Danny, that's not going so well. So she's a little like, she wants to, at some point she owes Al a favor. That's not necessarily right now, but it is, she's definitely marked the spot.
Okay. Now, as you guys have the 2 checks left, if you want to, you can do things to like help people in town for funsies and for evidence if you need to like defend your honor or something, having a conversation with people. Or you can just save the checks for the next time it's your turn. And they would just pop up and you'd be able to do things as you like. There's also the chance if you want to learn anything else about the town or any people you want to spend time with, you're more than welcome to do so.
I'm just thinking that the performers that we talked to the night before also suggested talking to the local guard mice to like find out about the fire That's an
Yes.
option.
They said that they're probably working late, but they would most recommend, and the mayor would likely repeat this, to visit them in the morning tomorrow. If you want to, you can spend your check to just go do that the next morning.
Oh, so we're still at nighttime now. We haven't moved to the next day. Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought we were in the next day. All right.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
You guys want to do that? And just say your next check is spent visiting the outpost?
Yes.
Sounds good to me. Okay. The mayor probably would have even name dropped the specific guards who are supposed to be working. That would be Tawny and Flint. The outpost is carved into a pine tree stump that has a big mushroom cap on top. And you see that underneath that mushroom, even from town, you see that there's a mouse with a Pinesweave armor, which are actually little pine needles all woven together, one on their back, and a spear. And he's clutching the spear and like pacing back and forth. And you guys can go on the little like shelf mushrooms spiraled around the stump to make your way to the top and speak with the guard, who shrieks, turns around, and pointing his spear at all of you.
Oh, no,
You
it's
see
okay.
there are dark circles under his eyes.
Are you okay?
Yeah, no, yes.
It's okay. We're guard mice.
Help. Hi, I'm Tawny. There was some burst into tears.
Oh,
Buttercup's gonna
Tawny.
go give him a hug.
The other guard I was with went down last night. We saw 2 orange lights, like eyes, on the other side of the creek, and he went down to look at what it was, and he hasn't come back. And I can't go by myself. He went down that way. There's a route. He went behind it, and that's the last I saw of Flint. Could you please look?
Buttercup gives him some assuring pats on the back.
Oh, and Pat's here? No.
No.
Hey guys.
We can go take a look.
Yes, of course, Tawny. You'll be okay. Just take a deep breath.
Thank you. I know I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I just want to make sure Flint is okay.
I'm sure Flint is fine. He probably just sheltered down somewhere. Maybe he couldn't find his way back in the dark.
Yeah. And Tawny's going to sit down on the edge of the stump and keep watch over the other side of the creek.
Is this an adventure, Al?
Looks like it.
My first adventure.
Tawny's like, yay!
Well, except for squirrel, but that was just more embarrassing.
Okay.
You have no idea.
All right. I would say that what you do from here is probably stuff that you can save your last check. And if you entrust me to take over to investigate the situation, that is totally fair. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Give me the reins back. Give me. Okay,
There
thank
you
you. Haha, suckers. All right, you guys have 1 check for next time already set up. Good.
Tag GM trust issues.
You guys go down the little staircase of mushrooms, and you go over to the tree that Tawny pointed at. There's actually a knotted hole underneath the root that he had pointed out, and you see that there's a little room in there that's very dark.
Al's gonna kind of kind of lean over, try to look in, and hello?
You see a small point of pale blue light.
It's not what light usually is.
Does it look like light shining in or light shining like out at us?
Out. It kind of dims a little bit and spreads out a little bit more.
That's kind of weird.
Is it moving or is it just flickering?
It's growing.
Okay.
It was bright at first, but now it's dim. Kind of like when you see like the jack-o'-lantern mushrooms that are like a dull orange glow, kind of like that, where it's very, very dull, but you can just make it out.
Oh.
You want to go inside?
I think Danny is already pretty much crawling over the edge, and she's like, "What is it? It's like a firefly or maybe a mushroom, but I don't." And she's like already kind of like headed in unless someone grabs her by the tail.
Buttercup's not stopping her. Brave.
Wait, don't go alone, and Al's gonna follow in after her.
Okay. You see that there is the room kind of adjusts a little bit, and you can make out that there's like maybe like the size of like a moderate dining room in here, not furnished necessarily, just in size. And you see that sitting on one of the smaller roots is a figure. This pale blue light kind of like makes out more of like a few lines in like the shape of a mouse, and then a few more, and you see that sitting down is a mouse skeleton, glowing faintly blue. Hey, I know what you're gonna say. Yes, I'm a skeleton, or a ghost, or something. You're not talking. Okay. He puts out a paw. My name's Flint.
Flint.
Buttercup takes the paw.
It's very cold.
No. Gives it a gentle, very polite
Like,
shake.
okay, good. This is good.
Were you a skeleton when you came in here?
Well, that's the thing.
Buttercup immediately looks down.
No, you're fine. It's fine. It's probably not contagious. I don't know if it's contagious. I'm going to be fully honest with you. I don't know.
Al just gives Buttercup a very concerned look.
So I think that with the mice we have, this is not a mundane thing. I need someone in the group to make a will obtu, just to be like, hold your cool. And like be a rock for the others to be like, yes, this is fine. I can have a conversation with a mouse ghost. I think,
because I mean, Al is like, I think he's the highest rank here.
and I think that you would have the highest will.
Okay.
At 4.
Buttercup's just half convinced that she's going to turn into a skeleton like that.
Yeah.
Very nervous.
And if you want to use skills to help, or if you want to earn more checks, you totally can. Up to you.
I don't think I don't really have any skills to help with this.
Danny or Buttercup can help with skills.
And you can use traits against yourself for checks, right? Skills. I have a 3 in brewer. Can I just give everyone a shot to chill us out?
No.
Buttercup's not even of age, I assume.
I mean, you're a mouse. Don't let them limit you like that.
This is my turn. No, you can't drink.
I don't think I have anything that would be especially helpful here, honestly. Maybe persuade her to be like, it's okay.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Great.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so that's 5. Yeah, 5 dice because you have a 4 will.
And so that's it then, just the 5? Just to make sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 2 successes.
Okay.
Is it working?
What working?
The roll? I don't see it.
It's the second one.
Oh.
Right?
The second one?
Yeah.
I see 4 dice that were rolled. Was that it?
Roll20's been having a glitch, which I've encountered in my own games, where some rolls don't show.
Oh.
This might be that again.
How many successes did you get?
Because I see it on here, 5d6, 3, 3, 6, 1, 4, so 2 successes.
Hooray! Y'all are chill. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys are chill.
Professionals.
I looked over the route and I saw the same orange lights we saw before. But I saw, and this is a little embarrassing, there was a black cat. And I had a heart attack and died.
Like a real cat?
Yes.
Just because there was a Oh, no.
Like, ooh. Like shakes his hand. Yes, honest to goodness, actual cat. As you can understand, I was petrified and then died. This is very apparent. Could you tell Tawny that I didn't die that way?
Well, how would you like to have died?
Oh, like fighting the cat, or like something more like dramatic. Add embellishments. I don't know. I'm not a storyteller. I just, something more. Like I just had a heart attack. He told me to lay off of all those what do they call fritters. I ate a bunch of fritters. One of my favorite things this time of year. Second only to pumpkin pie. Oh, I'm not gonna get any pumpkin pie this year. Oh, that's kind of a bummer.
Well, I suppose that's one of the downsides of being dead.
I imagine that's at the top of the list. But hey, that's what I saw. It went that way and it points over and you can see that there's like a small field. And then way off in the distance, you see a giant shining like silver tower with like kind of like a red next to it, another structure with like red glinting off of it.
Whoa.
Huh.
Yeah, went that away. Probably some kind of like censors himself. Kind of probably a huge jerk. That's just an assumption. But cat, what are you gonna do?
I didn't know that's where cats lived.
That's where a cat lives. I don't know.
Wow.
I hope there aren't more. I hope he doesn't come back.
No. He like tries to knock on wood, but he just like phases straight through it. Oh, other thing. Holds up his tail. And you see that it's like sheared off. I can't go with you. Sunlight. Not friendly. I'm stuck here. So yeah, best of luck.
Oh.
Hey.
You're very calm about this being dead thing.
I had all night, like, went through all the dabda, I said, no, this is not happening. And then I got real mad. I punched a wall, went straight through it. I said, please, not me, anything, just bargaining, Then I was sad for a while. I'm over it. It's fine. I got the second A in dabda. Good.
Well, that's very efficient of you, Flint.
Yeah. I've been a guard for a long time. What's gonna happen? I've had a good life.
Well, I'm glad you're handling this so well.
I am still embarrassed. Please don't tell Tawny.
We'll make something up.
I promise you that I will tell Tawny a very good story about what happened.
Convincing story. I want 5 acts. 5-act story structure.
She's really good at stories.
And
I appreciate it.
And Flint, and like I take his little skeletal paw in my paws. I know that even if you had a heart attack when you saw that cat, that you are a hero on the inside, and
Oh,
that your hero heart deserves to have a story told of its hero journey.
oh, that's real sweet. You don't gotta lie to me. It's fine. And you guys will talk with Flint for a little bit, but he told you everything he knows about the cat. And I think that it is your guys' prerogative and duty to roll pathfinding to find where this cat went to. It is up to you who does that, but this is an ob 4.
Yikes.
Oh, okay. Well, I have 4 at the skill. So,
Okay.
help.
Let's see. I mean, I can add scout to that.
Oh, I almost forgot. You do have specific directions, so that gives you 1 extra die. He told
Okay.
you where to go.
So it's 5, 6.
Oh, and you already spent your persona? Yes,
did.
that's right. But someone else could use their persona. I don't know. Or you still can entrust in your fate as well. Things don't go so good. But you'll do your roll first. So that's 6 so far. Danny, are you helping? Al, you're helping with Scout, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I help again with my cartographer skill?
Makes sense to me.
All right. And I'm going to stand up and explain the lay of the land so that Buttercup knows best where to look.
Buttercup knows best. I would watch that show.
Right, so that's 76.
Sounds about right. Do you want to do any of your traits and get any checks? And endanger your friends?
Well, that's exactly the issue, is that I would, of course, get lost here, but I don't think that's a good...
Do you have any traits that you want to use? I'd say this is pretty brave.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you can use that and get 1 extra die.
Or mice
That's
following a cat.
probably a good idea. I'm not scared of a cat.
Meow.
I'm not scared of a cat. I'm not scared of a cat. I'm not scared of a cat. She
Prove
says
it. Okay.
Hey!
What'd you get? I can't see.
6.
6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6, 5, 4.
I choose to believe you.
You can see it
11
in the screen
successes.
thing, too.
Okay. You make your way through these, it's like tall wheat. You go through that and you see that there is a wooden barrier that is very tall and bigger than you. It's a giant-sized fence. Through that are more weeds and thick brush going through here. And you can hear that the wind is starting to pick up a little bit again, which means you can't quite hear what's around you. You're moving closer towards the red house, or are you going towards the metal tower? This is a human-sized farm. Actually, because you're a little closer, and one of you used Scout, you can actually see that there's the barn, a metal silo, and our human brains would know there's a charred house-sized rectangle next to that still has a few pieces of like foundation, stone, plates, silverware, a house that had burned down. Where do you want to head towards, Buttercup?
I wonder if the same thing that happened to the mayor's niece's house maybe happened to that. She looks at the others.
Well, I don't want to lend too much credence to things that squirrels say, but the squirrel did talk about a burned rectangle and demons.
Demons?
Yeah. But I mean squirrels.
That's
They're not-
fair. That's fair.
They're not always literally true.
Demon.
But maybe that could be cats? But cats don't cause fires, they just cause other things.
I mean, I've seen cats knock things over all the time.
Oh.
I mean, maybe they could have set the fire by knocking like a candle over.
I think we should investigate.
Hey, friends. This is the GM's turn, and sometimes there are little things that I can do for fun.
Oh, no.
How to scare your players.
How would you like for me to give you all 2 checks for introducing something new?
That's
Check.
terrifying.
Yes.
I don't know how to answer that.
I'm not down.
I'm just trying to think of. I mean, seeing as this is, a Halloween stream, something to scare us, but hopefully not to the point where we end up like poor Flint.
I know.
I think we should do it. I think we can live dangerously.
I like stories. Stories of new things. Okay, sure. What could Jay possibly do that would be terrible? It can't possibly be that bad.
You see a black and white cattail between you and that house. Flick up from the wheat and then back down. You don't know if it saw you,
Oh no.
but you do hear it moving. Or is that the wind? Hard to say.
We should hide.
Idea. Do we see any place that we can hide?
You hear running.
Oh no.
Big running or small running?
Big running.
Okay.
As a black and white cat pounces on top of you, pushing the grass out of the way, fangs and mouth in your face. Are you guys mouse guards?
Oh my god.
Oh, he's asking us this?
Yes.
Buttercup has a sling, like.
All you guys have your weapons ready.
Al fumbles with his shield and yeah.
Oh, that's just great. Oh, I know all the stories. Here, come with me. Come with me. And he starts walking towards the barn.
Do we follow the cat?
I've never followed a cat before.
Buttercup's willing to follow, but she's not letting go of the sling.
You guys follow along, and inside of the barn, you see that there is a number. There's actually a mouse scaled bookshelf that has a lot of tiny books in it and a few comfortable chairs around. And the cat hops up on like a workbench and lays down very lazily next to it. Says, "Oh, my name is Vincent. I'm afraid I'm not familiar with any of you necessarily. Vincent is a black and white tabby cat that is sprawled out, stretching in the sunbeam right now." Yeah, some of the little kitties cross over the creek in the scent border to read stories to me and tell me about the Mouse Guard's adventures. And I'm afraid I'm simply enamored with them. It's been a long time since I ever, used to be a part of the hunt, but no, not anymore. I don't suppose I could ask any of you to recite the Guard's oath for me. It would mean ever so much to me.
I, as a player, do not know the mouse's
I'm sure Buttercup does know it, but
Can you guys see this?
Sarah doesn't.
Did it work? Is something broken? I just showed a document that says, yeah, there's some kind of problem. That's okay. All of you know the guard's oath, of course.
Of course.
There it is. Could one of you please read that to Vincent?
Does anyone in particular want to read it more?
Still don't see it, so.
Oh, it's in the Zoom
In the
chat.
Zoom chat, yeah.
Oh, that's why.
I feel like Buttercup, as like the youngest and newest, should be the.
Buttercup is very, very nervously steps forward. She's finally put the sling down. And she's like,
He starts licking his lips. Oh, I kid.
do you mind not doing that? It makes me nervous, and I just learned it.
Please.
We as Guard offer all that we are to protect the sanctity of our species, the freedom of our kin, and the honor of our ancestors. With knowledge, sword, and shield, we do these deeds, never putting a lone mouse above the needs of all or the desire of self above another. We strive for no less than to serve the greatest good. And then she looks really nervously at Al, like, did I get it all right?
Al just nods and gives her a little shaky thumbs up.
Ah, beautiful. That brings me much joy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I've told all those stories to many a kitten that I've had, but weren't really as interested. Well, except for one of them. But I'm very happy to have all of you here. It's very nice to meet all of you. Please, you're welcome to look through my library or tell me any stories that you have. I'd love to hear that.
Can I ask you a question?
You just did.
Can I ask you 2 more questions, inclusive of the question I'm asking you currently?
You may.
Do you know Pepita by any chance?
Ah, yes, I do. She hasn't visited me in a long time. I'm certain she's grown by now.
You knew her when she was a little mouse? Sorry, another question.
He kind of like flashes his eyes over at you. Yes, I did. Why? Are you all on an adventure now?
We are, yeah. We were told by one of the local guards that they saw.
He holds up a paw. I'm afraid I'm just getting close to my nap time. If you need something of me, please tell me it in the way of an interesting story, at least.
Al looks over at Dandelion.
So does Buttercup.
This is an orator test.
Oh dear. Okay.
Ob 2. You have to make an interesting story, while also trying to see if there's anything you can ask Vincent to do to help. And if it's a good story, he will help you.
Okay.
Tell you what he knows.
So, pulling out of game for a second, what is our main goal that we are trying to get out of Vincent? Just information about what's going on with the fire?
I'd say that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's a connection between the burned house and the house that burned near the village. I think he might know.
Okay. So I think, without taking forever, I will say that Danny spins the story about that's sort of an overarching story about these demonic creatures that leave fire where they go and burn things to the ground that people speak of, and a brave mouse who saw floating fires and went to investigate, but was struck by the power of the things that he saw on the fire and passed away. But because his belief was so strong, he remained as a skeleton to try to send these other mice on a mission to make sure that people were safe from these orange lights and to, find out more about the world to try and save all mices everywhere.
Beautiful. Go ahead and roll order for me.
Okay,
Ob 2. Buttercup, Al, if you wish to help, you can try. Sorry. Throwing pens.
I mean, I can try to use Persuader to, maybe, I mean, not so much add to the story, but to help ask, try to get information after the story.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'd say that would be helpful. Go ahead and add another die for that.
Sure,
That would be
Persuader,
3.
I don't know what else I would. Ooh.
And can I use my generous trait to say that I'm trying to tell as good of a story as possible because I want to make the cat happy?
Makes sense to me.
So that's
Always make the cat happy.
that's 4 dice.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. One
God.
success.
Okay. Did you get any 6s?
No,
No.
I got
Do
a
you-
whole lot of 1s.
Do you want to use Persona to tax your nature?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
So decrease Persona by 1, and then roll your nature number of dice. Because this is not in natural mouse nature, your nature
Right.
will go down by 1, but that's okay because I think you'll succeed.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll 5 dice.
Oops, I have to actually put the. Sorry. I can roll 20. Yes,
There we go.
I got 4 successes.
I think that he like stands up and like it's just like lays back down a few times. He's very interested. He's not gone back to like yawning or stretching or anything. You do a great job. And once you finish your story, he like, bravo! Oh, absolutely beautiful. If you like, that story will surely be in my memory for a very, very long time. You're welcome to take one of the books from my collection, if you want. But I can tell you that I'm afraid I do know. Well, one of my kittens did enjoy the Mouse Guard stories, and I'm afraid she learned my way of sneaking past the scent border. In Mouse Guard, the way that they keep their mouse territory safe is they have this brew, this concoction of terrible, terrible odor of like bear excrement and like this, that, the other, all these things brewed together, and they place it around all of the territories so that nothing comes in. They just think like, oh no, there's something dangerous in there. Surely not a bunch of mice. And the smell is so bad that even like smart animals, like because of their instinct, can't go through. Vincent slips through the creek and makes sure that he has lots of dirty smell on him so he can make it through, which is not very cat-like, but that is what he and his kitten, Max, do. I think that this may be Max's doing. I'm very sorry. She's had a very tough time. You see, her mother actually passed in a fire. So she kind of used these stories as a bit of a crutch. I'm afraid I can't help too much more than that, and I've only had 2 naps today, and I'm afraid it's time for my 3rd. But please, take something from my collection if you like.
I will peruse the books and see if I can find something that would be most applicable to what we're doing.
I think so. That was the last thing from me, and I think before the player's turn, a break would be appreciated. So let's go ahead and take a quick break. You guys will think about what you want to do with your checks and what kind of book you want to nick from Vincent's collection.
It's good.
All right, we will see you in a few. And wave.
Wave.
Mwah.
Yay.
Hi, it's me. I hope that you all got your drinks of water and your sandwiches, because we're going back right into it. Last time, the Flower Force met with Vincent, the cat, and he informed them of Max, his kitten, who is very interested in the stories of the Mouse Guard, as well as Max's mother, who met a sad fate at the hands of fire. But now that the guard have a bit more of an understanding of some of the events in town, it is up to them to decide what to do next. It is your turn. You've earned 3 checks, and you get 3 more because it's your turn now.
No.
And you don't have any conditions to heal.
No,
You have things to do. Fun times. Oh, and let's do this real quick. So we have the chance to earn fun points, fate and persona points. If you guys can look at your character sheets for me, if you can find them. If you accomplished your goal or played against your belief, you get persona point. Has anyone done either of those things?
I believe I have accomplished goals.
I think that who has worked toward their goal or acted on their belief?
I mean, I've definitely.
I think everyone has worked toward their goal at least.
Yeah, I mean, his belief is protecting fellow mice, so I'd say we've been working toward that.
Oh, I meant to close out of Roll20 because it's broken for me.
And
I will do that and keep talking.
I've been trying very hard to be nice to people and to solve problems, including a scary ghost mouse and a cat.
Hey.
So
Then yeah, I think all of you at least earn 1 fate point for moving towards your goal, and if you believe you've moved towards your belief, then earn a 2nd fate point as well. Those are used to re-roll 6s, and I think I fixed Roll20 for me.
Yay.
And that's great. Or I made it worse. We're gonna find out together, like a family. So, what would you guys like to do? There's lots of things you can do.
So I think we should probably investigate the burned out building, because we don't know where Max is at the moment, right?
Yeah, see if maybe we can find any clues in there.
I think we were supposed to take a book from this. I don't know if I have to spend a check to get the book because I was already told.
You can just take it.
Okay. So the book that I would like to look for is whatever Max's favorite was.
Ooh, that's a hard one. I would say that there is probably one of the oldest books in this collection is simply titled Legends of the Guard. And this was absolutely her favorite.
Okay.
A classic. All right. If you guys wish to investigate the house, you're just going to walk past Tawny. He's going to be like, no, wait. And then you're going to keep going. Go back to crying.
Is that in between?
Yes.
Like, I thought that we had left like the guard and gone over by the farm, and that the house was part of the farm.
Oh, that house. I thought you meant the niece's house. Okay,
No.
That makes more sense. No, wait.
Hi.
I mean, we could also go to the niece's house, but that means going back kind of towards town. So presumably we do one or the other.
What skill would this be? I'm thinking that let's do... Oh, okay, I like this idea. I think that if you have to find something, you have to like move a lot of the stuff out of the way. I think that this is an OB1 laborer check to try to get something
move
out
stuff?
of this. Yes, to like physically move stuff.
Well, I don't have laborer, so
You can help with instructor.
I have 2 in laborer.
You can help with orator.
I can tell you what to do.
Al, do you have instructor?
I do not. Well, I mean, it's. I don't have any points in it. I was thinking I could, like, Al could try to like maybe get like a higher vantage point somewhere and use Scout to maybe like point out possible points of interest.
You're going to get on the biggest pile and look for the biggest pile, and you're going to say, oh, it's this one. Sure. All right, go ahead and roll 4 dice, Buttercup. And if you want to, you can earn some more checks for next time. Your choice.
Could I earn a check by getting lost while doing this?
Yeah, you just dig into the soot and you don't know where you are anymore. That sounds good.
Okay,
So you're down to 3 dice.
I'll make it 3d6. I think this is an appropriate time to try and earn a check, and it's very in character.
Sounds good. And this check you'll be able to spend next time, of course. So
Yeah.
I already have that marked down. Go ahead and do your roll.
Much as when I get
1.
3 ones. Okay, 1.
Ooh, lucky. Okay. I think that you pull out, you actually reach like some glass, which could have really hurt you. And you pull out from underneath it, there's a picture that's still pretty burnt out. But you can see that there's clearly in front, what would be like people standing in front of this thing. I say people, you don't see any people. In the corner of the picture are Vincent, a few cats, and then only one of them being, one of the kittens being all black. This, you assume, rightfully, is Max. You also see another adult cat next to that, which is another dark black, either very dark gray or black cat. And this would be, you assume, the mother.
Aw, she takes after her mom.
Ooh, I will say that the mother cat's eyes are not orange like Max's is. Max's are. Those are more like blue-green kind of color.
Were Vincent's eyes orange?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think that is what you find from this.
Pull the picture out and show the others.
It's a lovely picture. Okay.
How many cats?
A lot of cats on that picture, yeah.
Right?
That, of course, the older mice, the first thing they're thinking of is like, oh no. But only Max and Vincent know how to get to the other side. So, what next?
Well, I think we should probably take this picture back to, is it so big that we can't carry it, or can we like roll it up and
You can
carry
take
it? So that the rest of the guard knows what sort of a cat to be on the lookout for. But I feel like we should probably let someone know that there's a cat inside the scent barrier.
Ooh, I'll tell you this straight up. 1, if you do that, festival absolutely canceled completely. Showing the picture would also result in like straight up panic.
Right.
Because cats. Even though only 2 can make it through, and Vincent's chill, you figure. And Max also is chill, you figure. She just wants to be a part of the festival and wants to hang out with mice.
Oh, okay. So Max isn't hostile. She just is messing around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we do need to tell what's his name, that his buddy died heroically battling the cat.
Tawny.
Yeah.
Tawny, thank you.
So that'll probably be our first stop back to town on our way back to do other things.
And then
Sounds good.
I don't know.
Well, let's say that you guys visit back at the outpost, and Tawny will like shout down at you. It's like, did you find anything? And see that very clearly Flint is not with you, and then he'll say, okay, come on up. Make the slow trek up all the mushroom stairs, and Tawny is waiting for you at the top, gripping the spear. You didn't find him.
Everyone's looking at Danny.
Tawny puts his head down.
I put my little paw on Tawny and say, Tawny, Flint was the bravest of guard mice. Though you may not have seen it, he had the heart of a hero.
I want you to roll order for me.
Fine.
What ob would this be? I'm going to say that this is an ob 1. Let's just do that.
Okay. Well, I only have 2 in order.
With the book you just got, you can make that a 3.
Okay.
For this specific job. I imagine that you read this on your way here.
Right.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Of course. While she was walking, she probably ran into things the whole time. Or like all of a sudden you guys would be like, did we lose Danny again? And you look back and she's just like on a rock with the book.
Like a squirrel did take you, but the story was too boring, so it put you back down.
Eventually, Alan Buttercup just like walked on either side of her, holding her arms.
Okay. Tawny listens to what you say, and it's not long that you speak. And thank you. You found it?
Well, kind of. We found part of him.
Spit take. Oh no.
You have to understand, Tawny, that your friend is so brave that his spirit lives on within nature. And if you miss Flint, you can go to the tree and lean your back against the tree and talk to him.
Are you going to kill me?
And no.
Why would we want to kill you? No.
You said I'd go back and see Flint.
No.
No, he's just right over there.
What?
My goodness, Tawny.
Maybe
I should.
Maybe you should get some sleep.
I think so.
I don't know if I can sleep right now. I know that there's still a cat somewhere. And even if Flint isn't in pain, I still want to make sure that I can do my job.
You can't do your job if you don't get some sleep, Tawny.
Were there other guard mice that can come help you out so you're not alone over here?
Oh, absolutely there are. No.
We look up, there's just like 7 mice standing at the next mushroom. They're like, what are we?
It's my shift. I don't know. Oh, will one of you come with me?
To sleep?
No, to see Flint.
To see Flint?
Yes.
I look at all the rest of the mice. I'll go with you.
Okay. So I think that's 2 checks so far. You guys can go ahead and the main thing I guess you guys can split up if you want to and each do different things. I think that makes the most sense to me personally because you guys have a lot of different little things you can do and people you can talk to. Not limited to the people that personally, in addition to the people in Pinesweave who know things about the festival. Flint and Danny, the 2 of them are going to Tawny's going to go in and basically just faint immediately.
Good.
Yeah, I figured that would happen. Hey, let's get him up, prop him up and splash some water in his face. And Tawny does not spend a small amount of time crying, and even Flint talking tears up, and the 2 of them like try to embrace a little. And Flint's going to like point over and say, "Hey, if you want to, not for nothing, but I'm not using my like cloak anymore. If you want to take that." And you can see that he had a cloak like tawny. That's the like pine needles all sewn together. I didn't want to point out the fact that I'm over there because the like tender paw, little thing, you feel me? So yeah, I'm over there. You can go ahead and take whatever you want. It's fine. It's permission. It's fine.
Thanks.
Yeah. No bravado.
Okay. I think Danny will go over and be like completely squicked out by pulling something off a dead mouse.
That's probably happened before. You're a guard mouse at this point.
Oh, that's true.
This has actual stats if I can find it. Here we go. I'm going to type this into Roll20. You can see that this is light armor made of weaved pine needles. It gets a +1 success automatic to sneak around Pinesweave. Sneak is a vague term. I would say that even in like some conflicts, this would help with maneuvers and such. You already have your book, your tankard, and your weapon. So I think someone else would have to like have this, but you have this in your ethereal inventory right now. But it'd be up to you who to pass this to. Alan, Buttercup, what do you guys want to do? You have 4 checks remaining.
I'm just thinking if it would be better to like ask around town if people have any, like if people haven't like heard any rumors or know anything about the fire, or if we should just go right to the niece's house to investigate.
I want to talk to Pepita because she is dressing up as a real cat, and she knows the cat that she is dressing up as, and therefore she might know more about where Max might be and what's going on with that. Like, I'm curious what she knows.
Okay.
Like, she didn't tell us.
I think that you guys can definitely find your way to the Gourd Theater, and it's pretty easy to talk to Pepita after that. You can meet up in her butternut squash dressing room. And she also looks very tired. I did some more pranks last night a little bit. I think that it helped some, but I suppose we'll see. And I know that you all spoke with the mayor. That really means the world to us. Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
What did you want to ask specifically?
Buttercup looks kind of awkward, and then Vincent's not just any character, right?
No, there's lots of stories of Vincent in town.
Oh, Danny has the book.
Persuade her if you want to try to get some more information. I'd say that
absolutely do.
Ob 3.
Oh boy.
I only have a 2 in that.
2 I think is more better.
I have a 3 in that, but is there a case that can be made for Al helping me?
Let me see. I mean, the only like social skill I have is Persuader, so I don't know if I have anything that would.
I'll bake you some bread.
Oh well, I mean, actually, yeah, he, you know what? Yeah, he would offer to sweeten the deal by making some homemade peanut loaf.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds great. You can help Biscuit after this, and you can get something for it. I love that idea. Sure.
All right. So that's 4.
Mm-hmm. Ob 2.
1. Hey.
Nice. Okay.
I'm very easy to talk to.
Yeah, she opens up. You can tell that this has kind of like been bogging down on her, and she knows that like Max exists in the sense that she knew that Vincent had kittens. I know that maybe it was just last night, but I know that there were some other like tricks happening in town that I didn't do. I assumed it was other just like children doing things, but I'm not certain. And if it's a black cat, they're pretty sneaky. They can move around in the dark just as well as I can in this costume.
Well, can you tell us what kind of tricks?
Oh, just moving things around. I definitely scared some kids. So maybe Max did some of that too. I don't really know. Well, if it's Vincent's kid, she'll be attracted by stories, so she might try to see the play tonight. We'll have to be careful. If the three of you could maybe keep an eye out during the performance and see if you see her.
I think that might be the best.
And we can absolutely play it up. If you give me the chance to talk to the other actors, if you let us know, give us some kind of sign, and we can try to integrate it into the story so there's not panic.
Okay, yeah.
You know, we have a friend who'd be really good at figuring out how to do that.
Well, is there anything else you had questions about right now?
I think that was it.
Okay. She gives you a scrap of paper with her order on it.
L takes, he's like, okay, I'll see what I can do.
Okay. I think that Pat wants to spend some time with Buttercup, and Biscuit definitely could use a hand in the bakery for a little bit.
Okay.
We've spent 3 checks so far. I think that leaves 1 for each of you if there's anyone you want to talk to or hang out with. These people in town would definitely have some more information. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay. Let's go in the order we just did anyway. So, Danny, I figure you can drop off the cloak to one of them, your choice.
I would bring it to Alfalfa, knowing that Alfalfa would put it wherever it would best be used.
Economical answer.
Yes.
Deferring to authority.
Absolutely. I am a mouse of the guard. And
then who do you want to hang out with?
Who do I want to hang out with? Let's see. So we did not go investigate the other fire.
No, not yet.
Trying to decide if I want to work towards my goal or work towards my player goal. I think that what I want to do is, because I'm very concerned that the celebration is not going to go forward, maybe I want to convince my dads to take me around town for a little walkabout, figuring that they know everybody, to try to kind of look for opportunities to get people more excited about the idea of the celebration going forward, since people were kind of taking things down and shutting down.
I like that idea a lot. Let's do a circles test.
Oh no. I like this idea less now.
Because this is them, who you know kind of thing.
Right. Well, but do I get a bonus for the fact that I'm totally using my super best brewer in Circlebrook dads?
Yes. I think you have 2 dads. That means 2 dice.
Okay.
I think to get as much information as possible is a 3 ob.
Okay, so that's 4 dice because I have a 2 in circles. And then I would also like to. Can I apply a wise? Because I
think that's appropriate.
My celebrations wise. So that gives me 5 dice. Sorry, I no longer have the dice roll cheat in my...
The drama.
Dun, dun, dun. 5, 2, 6. 2 successes.
Okay. Oh, and you can't spend a fate either because there's no sixes.
Nope.
Oh, I'm real sorry, hon,
Okay.
but we actually have there's a bit of an issue. There was some cider. Some of the cider actually got too carbonated, and some of they actually started to explode in some of the bottles. So
Oh, no.
we're gonna do what we can to help and kind of thin out some of their load. But we actually had the guard who took us here. She knows a few people around town. I figured that you could go with her, and it seems so nice, and the two of you could like spend some time together and look through. And they're going to hook you up with
Geraldine.
Yes.
Thanks, Dad.
And it's quiet and uncomfortable for a while.
I think that Danny would do her best because she's like, I know what I have to do. And so she would play into the fact that Geraldine always rubs her nose on the fact that, she's gotten so much further than Dandelion has in the guard. And so she will just lean
Is she
into
a
it.
patrol
And be
guard
like,
or a patrol leader?
she's a patrol guard.
Okay,
And
she's
I'm a
just one level
guardsmith,
ahead of
so
you. Okay.
she's just one higher, but we started at the same time.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously too old to just be a guardsmith at this point. So, it's a thing. So Danny will lean into it and try to be nice and be like, well, so tell me about the new things you're doing as a patrol guard.
And she'll go over like some of the jobs she's had to do, but it's very clinical the way she speaks to you.
Right.
And like it's not nothing. Like they're impressive things. The more she talks and like you like go through some of the people in town, and the two of you like help put decorations back up or help like move some heavy things, you kind of get a bit more engrossed in the story that she's telling you, and it goes from being very clinical to more like emotional. And it's not that much where it's not like your friends talking, but after a while it's quiet again. She kind of pulls over to one of the stalls to get some food, and she'll flatly ask you, so why is it that you turned a whole class against me?
Wait, what?
Well, like they all liked you and the stories you told them and like engrossing them, and I feel like you always tried to turn them against me and not root for what I wanted to do.
Really? I mean, and I think back, can I see like where this might have happened?
Yes. I think that you don't get as much helpful information from the people in the festival as much as the two of you actually come to terms a little bit and talk about where your relationship went sour.
Yeah. I think that Danny, once she like she would immediately be like, well, I never did that. I would never have done that. Oh, there was that one time.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it would be like, she'd just try to explain to Geraldine that she just gets so excited about telling stories that sometimes she doesn't think about whether or not those are nice stories to tell.
It's one of those things where like she'll accomplish something and you'll immediately accidentally belittle her accomplishment by saying, oh, but this mouse did this kind of thing. And it's all by accident, but the two of you enjoy the rest of the day you have together at the festival, actually helping people like good guard mice.
Okay.
That's nice.
Good.
Buttercup, Al. Let's start with Buttercup. What do you want to do?
So Buttercup wants to do something nice for Al because, well,
He deserves it.
and she gets a lot of assignments, and she often gets distracted by doing something else. And she's really trying to get better at that. So she really wants to follow through on this thing. And Al's been really nice to her and really patient. So she's going to go to the market and see if she can find something that he would like.
Okay. I feel like this is like resources to kind of like do an interchange, but I like this idea better. So what does Pat do? Like, does he have a job?
Well, Pat's about my age, so he's probably in training for something, but like me, he's not really there yet. So.
Oh, you're both from Flower Fields, right?
Yes.
Do you want to say that he is an apprentice apiarist?
Yeah.
There are honeybees here. There is mead in addition to like cider and other things. I think that you could use your apiarist skill to kind of work with them for a little bit, help them with what they want to do to set up, and listen to maybe some of the troubles they had and find something nice, some kind of bee product to give to Al all at once. I like that idea.
I like that too.
Yeah. So how about you do apiarist and then include a die for Pat? You have to include the Pat die.
I mean, I've got this down pat at this point.
Awful. Take a die away. Okay. Do you want... So I think that you definitely are helpful. Do you want to definitely have something to give to Al? Or do you want some useful information? With one success, you have to pick. Because I'm a terrible person.
Ooh. Ooh.
Do you want to come back? Think about it while Al does his thing. I like that idea. Al! Biscuit has you ready to work, son.
Al's got his apron on and he's ready to go. He loves doing some bacon.
Yeah, let's get you to work. Come on, put that apron on. I need you to... Don't knead the dough. It's biscuit dough. You got to push it together. Let it work together. Hydrate by itself.
I'm sorry, I love Biscuit's voice. I was not prepared for that.
All right, so I need you to roll Baker and, of course, include the biscuit die.
Okay.
And this will be the same kind of thing, where you'll definitely have something to give to Pepita for her help, and maybe learn something interesting if you roll well enough. Oh, no!
1.
Do you want to fulfill your promise?
Do I? I mean, I have to fulfill the promise. Al, he keeps to his word. So yeah, he'd keep his promise to Pepita.
Okay. I think that biscuit. I got my sweet. I got my savory. The sweet, we got the pumpkin butter on the biscuit. We got honey on the biscuit. But the savory, you got this mushroom. You slice the mushroom. You sear the mushroom. You got a sandwich. I would recommend the sandwich. It gives you the sandwich.
Al takes a sandwich. Thanks, Biscuit. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to the show tonight. You want me to save you a seat?
I have to work, but I'll be catching it. While I'll try to catch what I can while I'm patrolling.
He puts his paw on your shoulder and he says, "I'll save you a seat."
Thanks, Biscuit.
All right. He lets you go. You go ahead and deliver this. Pepita is very thankful, and you spend some more time before the show preparing food with Biscuit. And I think that's all 6 checks. Buttercup, have you made a decision?
So, just to be sure, being honeybee wise does not give me an extra die.
Oh, it would. Totally.
Oh, it does?
Go ahead and roll. Yeah.
Come on.
And I completely forgot. I have recipe wise.
Oh, then yeah, go ahead and roll another die. I don't give a shit.
Okay, we got another one.
Everybody wins. Yeah.
You get a success, and you get a success.
Okay, Buttercup, what did you find? Or what did you find to give to Al? What bee product? Because there's candles, there's mead, there's honey, there's secret rhododendron honey.
So I know that Alfalfa loves to bake, and I bet that he would like something to keep his baked goods fresh when he's out on the road. So I find an apiarist who puts beeswax onto cloth to make sort of like a wax wrap to keep food fresh.
That is, so I imagine that this is like a very cute, like hexagon pattern with like some orange and white and yellow, and it's very adorable.
Yeah, these things exist also. They're really
Yes. Oh, that is perfect. I love that idea. Okay. Oh, that's so cute. All right, perfect. While you're working, you overhear some of the apiarists, and they'll say that they've been here. They were here at the time of when the fire happened, and they'll say in no uncertain terms that one of them is confident that they saw movement in the wood of, like, those jack-o'-lantern mushrooms, a dim light like that, but moving. It was very unsettling. Maybe there was another fire out in the woods. I don't know. Strange. Al, you have a sandwich and precious information. Let's see. What would Biscuit know? Biscuit's traveled quite a bit. He's been to quite a few of these sort of festivals around Mousedom. And you guys are talking about what play they're going to do this evening. And you know that they're going to do a classic play about Vincent, funnily enough. And he'll tell you that he had seen some guards fight a cat a long time ago when he was just a small mouse. And those things are very tricky. They have incredibly sharp claws, but they are also, well, naturally tricky. So, do you want a cat's nature? This will be me telling you, like, these are the things that cats are good at, and they'll roll their nature to do those things. Or weapons that cats have in conflicts.
Ooh, that's a tough choice.
Yeah. I know some things. I know all kinds of stuff about cats.
Well, what can you tell me about their nature? That
Okay.
could be useful.
I'm going to copy paste. So this is not just cats. This is black cats.
Okay.
They are good at climbing, hunting, and doing precisely what you do not want it to do.
Isn't that all cats?
Yeah.
Yes. It's not included in the book, so I had to specify. I mean, Biscuit doesn't own the book. I don't know. Biscuit is not Jay's self-insert mouse. And that is what they have. That is what they're especially good at.
Okay.
And with that, that is your checks. And the night has come. It is the time that everyone's going to come together and enjoy the play at the Gourd Theater. Pepita has donned her costume and is ready to perform. And there are people trickling in. Biscuit has made sure to save a seat for Al. Pat is patting the seat next to him as well. And Tawny, the mayor will tell Danny that Tawny is absolutely asleep right now and is not coming. He has a lot of catching up to do. So, where do you guys want to set up for the performance? Or do you want to go exploring around town while there's no one about?
Well, first I have the cloak that Dandelion gave me to give to whoever would need it the most. I know you said that Dandelion's not really a fighter, and I would assume that Alfalfa would know which of the two would benefit the most from, like, who would be, because like I'm just trying to think, like, who would benefit the most from kind of like hanging back and being out of sight. I mean, I feel like that would be Dandelion.
Well, let's see. So if there were a straight up fight, that would be fight animal, which uses for maneuvers that is lore or mouse nature. So you'd want someone who has like more of a lore mouse kind of feel to them, or someone who's has a high mouse nature. I think both of those would be Al or Danny for maneuvers. But this is also armor, so that means that if someone gets hit, you can just not take the disposition damage for that person. And that's single use because this is light armor and it will just break after it gets thwacked. So that is up to you.
Okay. I think Al would give it to Danny just because he's a selfless mouse.
Okay. Danny, you have to give up one of your other items then if you're going to use it.
I know.
Oh.
I think I would actually, if Al wants to give it away, I would encourage Al to give it to Buttercup because she's the smallest and has never had to face a cat before. And because she's the smallest, and if somebody has to be sneaky, it should be the small mouse. I'm not sneaky. I'm very loud.
Actually, yeah, that's a really good point. So yeah, I think okay, then he'd give it to Buttercup.
Wait. Really?
Yeah, here.
Whoa.
So in my mind, so a mouse is a tender paw until they're given a cloak by their mentor. And Al might see this as, here's some armor. Buttercup might see this as, I just got promoted.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious to me.
It's like Dobby getting a sock.
Yes.
He gives Al a big hug, and then I got you something too. Yeah, it's to keep your bread fresh.
I'll take this. Ooh, this is really nice. Thank you. And he kind of hugs her back.
Buttercup is very, very happy. She absolutely does see this as a promotion.
Denny, you see a flicker of black move through the alleyways of town.
Oh no. I think I saw Max.
Where?
Point towards the alleyway where I saw it last.
Should we go investigate or should we wait and see if we see her again?
Is right. Maybe she'll come closer.
You hear a not too loud crunch and a house topple a little.
Nope, we should go.
Boy.
We should go now.
Definitely go.
Okay.
I was going to
It's
take
like,
off in that direction.
if the mayor finds that there's a cat in town, this will be over.
Okay. I think that this was Al's decision to finally go in and do this. So you can roll hunter or fighter because it's something about mouse sized. And then you add either health or nature.
Okay, I'll go with hunter and nature.
Oops. I have to re-copy the thing.
So I'd be rolling the 3d6 for hunter and then adding the flat 5 for nature.
Yes.
Okay. Yee.
That's 5.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Hi.
thanks.
I don't remember if they add their nature a second time. I think that's true. Because it's usually a roll plus something. That's quite a big number. That is why you are afraid of cats.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
Goodness.
Okay. I'm going to set up my actions. Because I'm probably on the right layer. Okay, good.
So is this also a chase?
No. This is a fight.
Oh.
All right. Max has a goal. Max's goal: play with mice, have fun at festival. What is your goal?
That did not happen.
I think to be able to convince Max a better way to play with the mice before any of the mice see Max.
Now, this is a fight.
Oh, all right. So we have to do some kind of subduing.
Maybe drive Max off so she goes back to her dad and her dad can handle it from here.
Good parenting will win the day.
I would, maybe to drive Max out of the town. Oh, this is hard because it's a fight, but also to prevent damage to the town. I mean, we've already tipped a house over.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to drive off Max and protect Pinesweave.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I have my thing set. It is up to you. The conflict actions table will show what you can do during a fight animal.
Okay.
Oh, and I'll remind at the top of the round that like the idea of like tabling things and like meeting in the middle is also a thing. Right now, Max doesn't feel like it because 12.
Right.
She wants to play.
So the way that we decrease the disposition of an enemy is by a successful attack, and the way that we increase ours is by a successful defend.
Yes. Fate can also help under certain circumstances. And maneuver can be used to add dice for you, remove dice from them, and also remove weapons if you do very well.
Ooh. I feel like this should be a very defensive first round. No?
Cowards!
Cat!
I'm trying to think. I mean, Al is probably the better fighter. So I mean, he wouldn't be trying to necessarily hurt Max, but he'd be trying to drive her off by attacking.
Yep. Like, because of your goal, you're not just going, if disposition goes to 0, I'm not just going to say, Max is dead. You killed her, kid.
Yeah.
Because you're going towards your goal. So you just like swing your sword around, say, go away.
Okay.
Oh, and you have a shield too. And you can use your sword and like say, this specific action is especially good. So if you try to defend, you get 3 extra dice.
Wait, 3 extra dice? Because shield adds +2 to defend.
Yep. And if you choose defend for your sword action.
Okay.
Yeah, that's for the duration of the conflict. So you can just say sword can only help me with defend or only help me with attack or what have you.
Oh, so you pick which action type it counts towards, and it does that for that entire encounter. Okay.
Yes.
Then actually, yeah, I will do defend and use the sword for defense.
Okay.
So my bow gives me a maneuver +2. So does that mean that I have to be doing maneuver?
To get that benefit, yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to maneuver, and I'm basically going to try to herd the cat by firing my bow to scare her in the direction we want her to go.
Okay.
So what happens if you do back-to-back maneuvers? Because...
That would be another bonus or detriment. You can totally do that.
Okay, so what we might do is maneuver, defend, because Buttercup is a lover, not a fighter. And she does what she's got.
Yeah. I mean, if Al is focusing on defense, someone's got to do attack. I mean, it's at 12. I'm not saying you have to
Right.
select attack now. I'm just saying you will at some point. And even then, it's not like you're trying to kill her.
I mean,
It's just like, go away.
if Buttercup really wants to maneuver, then I will go for an attack instead.
I mean, I can also try to attack, but I don't have I'm not particularly skilled at it. So
2 maneuvers is also good because then you like, if you're starting at 5, you're likely to get more than 5 by the end. Your choice. But remember, Max is rolling a 7 dice.
Right. But maneuver, defend is not going to help us. We would have to maneuver, attack.
Either would be helpful.
Okay.
Anything would be helpful.
I feel like setting up a defensive early will give us like a little bit more room to attack. Whereas if we don't defend now, we might just be like cat's pawed out of here.
Yeah.
Bah!
If I'm reading this right.
I think I agree.
Okay. So we're doing which one? Maneuver, defend?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do it. What did Jay pick? Feint. I believe that is independent.
Yes.
It is. Okay. All right.
Whose maneuver is first?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. Your choice.
Wait, what were you doing for your maneuver?
I have a sling that gives me. So I think I'm just
Suppressive fire.
I'm trying to like just sort of ping it in such a way that it's distracting, like not like right between the eyes, like flap, but like, what just brushed my tail, like something behind me kind of.
Okay, I'm hurting and you're distracting.
Okay.
So
Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Okay. Max gets to go.
So I do nature, and then I get a +2. So that's 7.
Okay. These are independent. So you got 3 successes. Oh, this is great. So you have a choice. You can inhibit by giving Max 1 less die next time. You can give 2 extra dice to Buttercup. Or you can remove one of Max's weapons from the conflict. I'm using one of her weapons right now, Jinx, because she's a black cat. And she gets 1 free success whenever she does a successful feint. So that 2 would become a 3.
Oh, I would absolutely especially since this is early in the combat, I would like to remove a weapon from the combat.
Okay.
For sure.
She has that one, but she also has her sharp claws, which you have an extra die to attack. Which one would you like to remove?
So the Jinx gives her a bonus to feint, and the sharp claw gives her a bonus to attack.
Her Jinx gives her a free hit every time she does a feint that hits. And the claws give an extra die every attack, period. But that's only a chance at success.
Flower Force, does anyone have any opinion? I feel like my mousy instinct is that we don't want sharp claws.
Yeah.
I'm better with bad luck than I am sharp claws.
I'm feeling the sharp claws too, yeah.
Okay, then.
Then she is dealing 3 damage to you right now.
Oof.
Okay, next up.
All right. So, if I am rolling a maneuver with the sling, what am I adding? Like,
oops, I'm looking at the wrong table. The interactions table shows not the interactions. There we go. Okay, fight animal. If you were doing maneuver, you can roll your nature plus your 2d6s, or a lore, which would be like science or something similar.
Okay, so it's probably my nature.
Yeah.
So 2 plus 1 for using a sling.
Your nature is, so you do your toe, yeah, because your nature's taxed right now. It's 2.
Yep.
You're right. So yeah, it's 4.
It's 4. 4 dice, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, just checking.
Sorry.
Okay. Oof. Cat's scary.
Cat, very kitten, scary. All right. You guys are at 0, which means the cat gets what she wants. And like, from your perspective, you like hear this epic battle music, like da 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 da. But like, if you're looking from Max's perspective, you just hear like plonky, like toddler music of like you're like yay. And she like hops up on one of the houses on the other side of the street and kind of like leans down a little bit. Oh, thanks for playing with me. This is really fun. I hope that I can come back next year.
Please
Thank you.
Don't.
What's wrong?
Well,
Max.
Buttercup gestures to the house and says, "If you're gonna come back, can you break fewer things?"
Oh, I'm sorry. Who like starts to like try to fix it, just like smashes the house.
It's okay. We'll take care of it. Just
Sorry, I didn't mean to break it. I didn't. I know that my mom had broke stuff before, and I didn't want to be like that.
It's okay. I mean, it's not really sized for you. Just
You hear screams from the Gourd Theater.
Oh.
damn it.
Oh no.
That was out of character.
Buttercup language.
And you look over, very scared of what they saw, but they're not looking in your direction whatsoever.
Oh.
Yeah. Behind the large pumpkin that has been carved to make the Gourd Theater is another figure, glowing in a pale blue light like you had seen before. Wagging its tail and looking down at all the delicious little morsels of mice is a cat. The skeleton of a cat.
Oh.
It hops up on top and pounces into the audience.
Max, is that your mom?
You see little flickers of blue light, blue fire hovering around this cat. And those just kind of like go down and gently touch patches of grass that just burn. We have a new conflict.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Who's leading us this time, friends?
Alfalfa's the ranking garden house here.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. And you can, I'm going to apologize for this, but I believe that each person helping can add a die to the disposition roll.
Oh, awesome.
I feel very silly for not including that before. I'm sorry.
That would have been helpful.
Maybe. But that is up to you. Go ahead and roll your, I believe your nature was better.
Yes.
So how do we add a die? Do you just add 1 die per person, or do we need to pick a way that we're helping?
Oh no, you were helping for being in the conflict.
Okay.
But I forgot it before. Let's just say that you just have 1 success each because of my failures in the past. I apologize.
Is
So
there-
that's
Is there a way to convince Max to be on our team by saying,
Oh,
if
absolutely.
this goes poorly, Max, there's never going to be another harvest celebration again?
Yes, I think that you could totally do that. That is a fair attack, defense, maneuver, feint. I think
Okay.
all of those would be appropriate. You would just use a different skill for it. So it's
All right.
either hunter or fighter plus your health or nature.
Okay. Well, this is same thing for either of those. So 3. So 3d6 and so is it 3d6 and then the bonus from everyone else adds to the flat increase?
Yeah, it'll add to the flat.
Okay. That's not 3, that's a 5. Here we go.
Ooh,
So
nice.
2 6s.
All right. Max's mother, Vincent's cat wife, that's a weird sentence, is at 10. All right, you have 2, and your health or nature is 5. So that's 7, 8, 9 for your friends, right?
Question.
Shoot, but what the disposition is
Big
9, right?
scary ghost cat. Is this a chance that you could use fate to reroll the 6s and get more?
Oh, yeah, you can do that during disposition. That's a good idea.
Okay. So how does that work exactly? I get
decrease the fate by 1, and then you roll 2 more dice, and those successes add to the ones you already rolled. If you get another 6, you can just keep going. So yeah. All right.
Hey.
Roll 1 more. Okay. So your new total is 10.
Now the bonus that we got from Dandelion convincing Max to help, that doesn't add to the disposition?
You haven't convinced her yet.
We still have
you'll have to do an action to get her to help, and that'll be part of the conflict narrative.
Gotcha. Okay.
But for now, let's set up what she wants to do. And you already know that though a ghost, this is a black cat, so she has at least the same weapons that Max had. So let's do that. I want one of these. Definitely want one of those. And we're going to do this one. For show. For show. And maybe this one. Oh, should I do this one or this one? This or that. Let's see. Let's do this one. That's a good idea. Good job, brain. Okay. I'm done. Come at me.
Okay, so we know that the ghost cat is probably going to use a feint because that's a weapon ability and probably an attack, but we don't know because that's the other weapon ability.
Hang on, I'm not done yet.
No, it's too late.
I mean, that's the order that that Max went in. So.
Yeah, feint, attack.
So Alfalfa is definitely going to defend and use his sword toward that defense to get +3.
But not. Oh, okay. But we don't want to. If we want to make sure the defend doesn't go against the feint.
Right. We want the attack to go against the feint.
Yeah.
No. You want to make sure you defend when I feint.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
No, that's a terrible idea. Don't do that.
Okay.
No,
I misunderstood that then.
Jake,
I knew
this game is very complicated. Don't also say things backwards. Come on.
Yeah, I knew he was lying.
What?
Oh my god.
So I would like to probably. I mean, I definitely want to enlist Max's help. Using, I don't know, anything. So
I'd say order in your book.
Order in my book. Okay.
Yeah, I think that you could use one of your traits as well to give you a bonus.
Is that a defend or is that a maneuver?
I'd say that's up to you. I think that either any of these would be appropriate. You can absolutely just say it's an attack, and you see Max's mother is like, oh, my own child is against me in this kind of thing. Like that would be an attack to me. You could justify any of these for that specific action, I feel.
Cool. Well, if we think it's going to be feint attack again, then we want to
Start with defend.
shush you.
Now I'm just confused.
I know. Hey, conflict leader. So against a feint, we want to. This little grid that we have is not helpful. We want to not defend, and we want to not attack. We want to either feint or maneuver.
I think if you both faint, then like nothing happens, right?
I think that
It's a versus roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maneuver is an independent roll.
Right.
So I'm going to say that I could go first and try to get Max into this conflict, and that's going to be my maneuver.
Okay. Al, you said you wanted to defend.
Yeah. I think I'll do that for the second slot.
What are you feeling, Buttercup?
So Buttercup knows that that Pat is over there.
Mm-hmm.
So she would probably want to get an attack in. She's not very good at it, but she would want to try. Probably by thwapping with the sling.
Makes sense to me.
Give him a good weapon.
Are we content with this? Content content creator captain.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. What? A feint? Nobody saw that coming. All right. These are independent.
Okay.
Nice.
Ouchie.
How?
Feint and maneuver are, yes, independent.
So I got 2 successes. I have no more personas to tax my nature. Did I get any? I got no 6s. So that's all I can do.
So that means that Al's defense has 2 extra dice.
Yeah.
Oh, but did she pick feint a second time? No. Okay. So that means your defend has 2 extra dice from Danny's help, 2 for shield, 1 for sword, and then however many your hunter or fighter is.
Hunter or fighter. Those are both the same. So that's 3. Hang on, math. 3 plus 5, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Hodag. These are also independent, aren't they?
No, that's a versus.
Oh, right. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's okay. She doesn't get to do anything beneficial. Doesn't get to sneak any sneaks. And, well, your disposition does not go up. But I think that her attention is more on you now instead of the crowd. Okay, last thing. Another versus test.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Danny, your maneuver was to talk with
Max.
Yes, and you were able to succeed at that. What exactly did you say?
I said, I basically just implored Max, saying, if this goes poorly, if she causes any more damage or scares any more mice, there's never going to be a harvest festival again.
No! Al, go ahead and roll another die for me. Oh, and if you wanted to, you could use fate again because you got 2 6s.
That's right.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Buttercup.
You're fine.
Definitely use a fate.
Okay. And so you can roll 2 dice for the 6s and your fate, but roll 1 more for Max's help. She's helping from now on.
Okay, do you want me to do that in 2 separate rolls or just 3d6?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, roll 1 more.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so your disposition goes up to 9 for that good defend. Okay. Buttercup, Max is going to help you as well. So whatever attack you do, she's going to help you.
So I think the best move is probably going to be whacking with my sling because I don't want to get super close.
Okay.
But I only get the 1 die if it's a maneuver. So I think it's a pretty wee... and I can't justify... Wait, no, I wrote it on that. Never mind. Okay, yeah. I think it's just the 3. I'm not a very... I'm never not a fighter. So what else?
Oh, and like you said, Pat's here. Pat wants to help too.
Oh, Pat will help?
Yeah.
Thanks, Pat!
Blood. No.
Okay.
Oh,
That actually was very helpful.
what a good Pat die.
Uh,
Oh, these are actually independent, so you both go down by 4.
Oof. Ow.
Or no, she goes down by 3.
we go down by 4.
Okay. New times. New decisions. What do I want to do to torture these mice?
You're an evil man.
What?
What's Danny's fighting ability?
I think Danny has a 3 in fighting.
Okay.
No, don't converse. I'll cheat. Let me think about the order I want to do. Like, brood it out. No, I'll cheat. We also didn't establish goals, I realize.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ours is simple. Fend off the ghost cat.
Okay.
Cat to, like... Because it's also possible that Max will be able to, like, convince her mom that she needs to, like, calm down. And it'll be a very wholesome, like...
I think that if one of you tried to use like Persuader or something to do that, that would be totally fine. You could try to do that with Max's help. So Max's mother, her name is Rain, which I don't think I said before. She wants to hunt mice.
Oh, no.
Period. Full stop. What do you guys want to do? Simple as protect Pinesweave?
Yeah, does that also include protecting Pinesweave from fire as well as hunting cats?
Yeah, seems fair.
Yeah.
Seems like the fire's coming from her, so I think the goals are kind of one and the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Pinesweave is the goal.
Okay.
I guess if I had any sort of a sub goal, like a bonus, a stretch goal, my stretch goal would be to somehow convince the town, and this is probably afterwards, after our victory, that Max, that she is the spirit of Black Vincent, and that
So
this just means our thing worked.
you get one and, so that's
Okay.
totally fine. All right, Max, good. Okay, I have my things set up. Rain is ready to rain down terror upon the town.
Fantastic.
What order do you guys want to do? What do you want to thing? I almost said.
And you know what? I would have understood it. So,
Thank you.
I mean, defending Alfalfa's got a huge bonus to defense, so I think I'm going to stick with that.
Okay, just be careful because that feint will
I know.
hurt. Where do you want your defend to go?
I think this time I'm gonna put it at the end, maybe?
You're talking about persuading something, and I've forgotten what it was.
Using Persuader as one of the actions, as like one of the dice pools to do something. Like use Max to help and like talk Rain down.
Would that be maneuver or?
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Okay.
I would say that would be Persuader with Max's help. So that'd be that plus at least one die.
Okay.
Where do you want to put that?
I mean, so assuming she faints first again. This is so very.
Don't
That's
laugh.
tricky.
You're making me nervous.
Good.
More nervous.
I mean, maneuver is good against anything. So we just want to make sure that the defense doesn't go against the feint.
Yeah.
And that the attack doesn't go against the feint.
If you want to be absolutely certain, you could just not defend.
Right.
That'd be the only way to make sure.
Well, or attack, right? Because again,
oh yeah,
this
if the feint goes against an attack, it's just the feint does nothing. You just get to attack. So you want to try to pair the two of those up. If you think there's going to be a feint, if you do attack, then you'll probably line up with that. It just means it's kind of dangerous because attacks just go straight through each other.
Yeah. I would say maybe attack, maneuver, defend.
Yeah, I'll do an attack. So if you're going to maneuver with your Persuader.
I am.
You're going to say like, no, let's be friends, and then attack? Or
I think we're gonna attack, then be like, doesn't have to be this way.
Okay, sounds good to me. Conflict Captain, final answer?
Yeah, looks good.
Okay. Attack.
Okay, so I roll my fight. And what else can I give myself? Can I give myself a point from curiosity? Because I'm really curious what arrows do to a ghost cat.
I honestly think that, like, this is a weird situation. You could definitely, I think that curious would be appropriate.
Nice. Then that's 4. And I think that's all I can do.
You get an extra 1 for Max's help.
Oh, that's right. So that's 5. Thanks, Max.
Yeah.
Good kitty.
Good kid.
Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, 4 successes.
Hello.
Yikes.
Yikes. This is not good.
The thing where we call a draw,
Mm-hmm.
can that happen at any point in a round?
I don't know. Yes.
Because I'm thinking if the maneuver goes the way I want, that should result in a we won't hit you anymore. And you won't.
Yeah, so I would say that if you guys want to try to table something, you can try to make me an offer. Her goal is to hunt mice.
It's a hard goal to get around.
Yeah.
Especially when we're all mice.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but there is room where, like, hunt doesn't necessarily mean kill and eat. It doesn't mean like rip families apart or destroy the town.
Okay, I've got a really crazy idea, so I'm going to pitch it to the party out of character before I do it in character.
Shoot.
The next year, the Gourd Festival will have an all-new event similar to the running of the bulls. Everyone gets what they want.
No, Buttercup. Mice will die. I have an idea, which is that we could all jump on Max's back, going completely against our natures, and get Max to run. And then Rain would get to chase Mice by chasing Max, but Max would be fast enough and provide some sort of buffer that maybe she wouldn't kill us. And
I
we
like that idea.
lead her out of the town.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
What is the one thing that you all know could hurt Rain?
Sunlight.
Thank you.
Oh, jeez. So we just need to get her to chase us around until dawn.
That's a long time.
That's all.
Can we run around the earth back to where the sun is up?
Well, if you don't have sunlight, what's the next best thing?
Firelight?
Stage lights that were set up around here.
Oh.
She did attack the back of the theater and not the front.
Front.
Okay.
But
So-
I think that you guys could totally hop on Max's back and say that the concession here is that Rain is hunting you. But that means she has to catch one of you. Who's that going to be?
Again, Alfalfa's a selfless mouse. I think he would lure it away. Because for one, there's no way in hell he's letting his charge Buttercup do something this insane, and he wouldn't let Dandelion do it either because she still has well, he feels like he has a lot to prove too, so he's just going to do whatever it takes to protect the town.
I think Dandelion would try to head you off at the pass because you're a thinker and she doesn't ever think first. She is a ready, fire, aim kind of mouse. And because she's so focused on the fact that eventually you're going to get to enjoy this stupid festival, and I think she would throw herself at this cat if she saw you even starting to think about it.
Buttercup is also brave and also is the only one of us wearing armor.
You're making me
That's
pick.
true. Yeah. Basically, 3 mice are fighting to be attacked by a cat.
And Max
What
is
happens?
like, no, no.
Does Pathfinder help me for running away? Because I am very good at that.
I think that it absolutely would.
So I'm just saying I am small, I am fast, and I'm wearing armor.
Those are
Conflict
valid
Captain,
points.
I defer to you. I think this is your
how
choice.
Buttercup dies.
I mean, I take it Buttercup's just going to take off.
But it's because this is still like, we're still making like the table discussion of what the conditions are. I think that it's up to you of which on your side of the table is the one who is hunted. You're the conflict captain.
This is so hard.
Yes.
I'm trying to like just picture, like I can picture like Buttercup taking off and then Alfalfa chasing after her and then Dandelion chasing after the both of them.
And Max is chasing, and you're just in a circle at this point.
The Scooby-Doo theme starts playing somewhere.
Well, could Buttercup make a brave run for the cat and Alfalfa and I jump on Max to try to save her?
I like that
that
idea best.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's do this. The dispositions are down to 3 and 1. So concessions will be made on both sides. I think that the first round of this resulted in some honest to God damage to the city. And there are some mice who are hurt. But maybe due to Max looking at this and being so horrified, Rain is going to chase Buttercup outside of town. Al and Danny are going to get on Max and try to follow. And Buttercup makes it to the outpost where there are 2 other guards. And they're confused seeing that you're wearing the same armor. And then they see Rain just pounce on top of the stump. Buttercup is going to get batted at. You're going to get hurt. But ultimately, this was late when this had happened, and you see light finally crest up on the other side of the horizon. Al and Danny arrive, and you see Rain, after hunting these mice, the sunlight just pours through her, and she just evaporates. Buttercup, you are injured, and you need to stay in Pinesweave as you heal. And as a result, so does Al. Al has to stay in town to make sure that you heal properly and has to spend some time with some own R&R for himself. The 3 of you get to enjoy the festival, Buttercup as best you can from a bed with your feet up. And
stretcher.
We can totally put Buttercup on the brewer's cart that my dad's brought. So
yeah, just give her a
pull
drip
her like
sheet.
on a float through the town so she can still see the festival.
And you get to finally try some fried spider legs and drink all kind of drinks. Biscuit has a few products set out just for the 3 of you to enjoy at the end of the festival. And the mayor, though horrified, believes you when you say that that ghost is gone for good. Max is carefully adopted into the town and shown how to be a bit more careful. She's very thankful, especially for all of you. Al, even though you gave a cloak to Buttercup already, do you think that your Tenderpaw has earned a cloak proper?
Absolutely.
What color?
It is green. Because it isn't
Beautiful.
it the same as it's the same as the mentor's cape?
Oh, it is up to you. You can give whatever
Oh.
color you want.
What color cape would Buttercup want?
Might have seen Buttercup doodling in her journal about a yellow cape.
Then he would give her a yellow cape.
Purple it is. Oh, never mind. It's a very sweet scene. I feel like maybe even the cloak, you got something that has some beeswax in it too, so that she can keep the water out, just like the little handkerchief she had given to Al. And the 3 of you together enjoy the festival with your friends, with Danny's parents, and with your old senior artisan as well. A lot of you having a nice dinner together at the end of the festival. We pan out and we see that Max goes back on the other side of the creek to visit her father. And the 2 of them catch up and understand that what Rain had done was not good. But I think that the 3 of you gave the picture back so that they could enjoy those happier times together. The last thing we see is Tawny, finally rested, shaking 2 plates with forks and slices of pumpkin pie. Walks in, and we see that Flint isn't there until Tawny turns around and Flint scares him, and the 2 of them laugh. He sits down, and he tries to, eat, but it just kind of, goes through him. But he nods and lies to Tawny, saying he can still taste it. The 2 of them hug and spend a nice time together eating pumpkin pie. The end. Thank you all very much for spending your day with us in this Mouse Guard adventure. I'm glad that you got to sit in. Mouse Guard has an important place in my heart, as it was the first game that I played on a stream, the anniversary of which is actually next week. You can see that this is a lovely game. It's very beautiful and very casual and enjoyable, but also has dark undertones if you've read the comics. But I love this game. And if you would, I don't know if the site is still down for donations, but we'd love to have you try whenever that's an option. So let's go ahead and do our outros. We'll go in the opposite order of last time. So, Sarah, who are you? Where can we find you?
Hi, I'm Sarah. You can find me on Twitter at @the_DM_Sarah. I'm a pro DM and I write content for DM's Guild, which you can find under Dungeon and Gin, and that's a link in my Twitter bio, so you don't have to remember it. And yeah, I love being a player on streams because otherwise I don't get to play because I'm a forever DM. So if you've got other streams, especially streams of charity coming up, hit me up.
Okay, V's, who are you? Where can we find you?
Hi there. I'm at V's Knees on Twitter. VI. It's spelled pretty much like my my Twitch handle, so you can see that in the chat. Just no underscore. I play a Masks game every Friday. It starts at 12:30, so it's late. So you can watch the VODs. That's on Welcome to the Party. I play the Janus playbook. It's a pretty fun game. I'm dead tired through most of it, so I have to watch the VODs to remind myself what I said. I don't know. I don't have the details to give out, but I will be on Scradicus Academy next season. Watch Twitter for info on that soon, coming up probably within the next couple of weeks, actually. That is pretty much it for me. I started working on a homebrew setting for D&D, so I'll probably, as I get stuff for that, I'll be sure to share that somewhere.
Oh, that's wonderful. Janaya, who are you? Where can we find you?
Hello, my name is Janaya, and I make art, and I play good games with nice people. And you can find me on Twitter at Janaya. You can find me pretty much anywhere at Janaya. It's all me. And usually on Saturday nights, I'm on Otherdocs channel playing the directed campaign for Invisible Sun, if you're into some absolute weirdness. But we're actually off tonight and next week, so you'll have to mark that on your calendar or follow me on Twitter, where I will start yelling about it as soon as it's time to play. And then this Tuesday, if you want some non-game related content, I do a thing called the Tea Salon, which is pretense-free art chat for everyone. And I'm going to be talking on Tuesday, 1 p.m. Pacific, about why modernism is classist as fuck. And also, I was like, I don't know what the censorship is on this channel, and how ornamentation and frilly bits can make art dangerous again. So come over and hang out with me and talk about that.
Beautiful, wonderful. My name is Jay Dawson. I am at Jay Dawson on Twitter, which is easy to remember because it's my name. I am running Monster of the Week on Katie Face's channel on Mondays, and I am going to be running a short Mouse Guard campaign at some point in the future. I have 1 player and space for 2 more. If anyone's interested, hit me up. And I run all kinds of little things every once in a while, so if you're interested, ask me to run something. I might have a book for it, and I'll probably say yes. But scheduling is a thing, so what can you do? Outside of that, I think that is it for me. I know that there is another game tomorrow on this channel. It is Tales from the Loop, which I've run before. I think it's called the Haunted Mixtape, come to think, and it's very exciting. I'm going to try to tune in, absolutely, and you should do the same or else.
He'll make a ghost cat attack you.
Oh, God. I could just do that. But we are going to be raiding after this, another person who's doing a part of the Extra Life game, so please stick around. I'm sure it's going to be great. Love you all. Bye. Wave at camera. Smile.